Oh. Okay.
It shows that I have a lot of MS, but it should be fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to... Well, I not welcome back because it's a brand new day. So good morning, greetings to everyone, and welcome to our broadcast of the well, not the SLE. I was about to say the SLE, but of the Manta Cup, and it's the semi-finals. We have Gucci up against Black Manta. The rivalry kicks off once again, and Mikis, it's slowly not becoming a rivalry as it is one-sided. But yeah, it's a chance for BLM to bring themselves back. How excited are you for this semi-final matchup?
Well, it's a huge matchup, and I'm always saying it is a rivalry against Black Manta. We have had a lot of history together. Even though Black Manta is always failing to win a game, they are having themselves yet another shot, potentially their last shot at ever doing it. So, yeah, I'm extremely excited. And this is the tournament phase that last time when Gucci participated in Manta Cup, we were eliminated. We were playing the UB Dynasty back then, lost 1-2 in that series. So this Gucci squad has an opportunity to kind of extend Gucci's success in this tournament. So excited to see.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see as we are just kicking things straight off. The drafting phase has started. And Nicholas, I think the last time, or not last time, but yesterday when these two teams clashed against each other, not only did we saw a difference in performance, but I felt like the draft from BLM, it was kind of just the same old, same old. It wasn't anything different. I just feel like if BLM, want to take it to Chi, they've been doing the same thing every time and they haven't taken a single game off the organization on, different variations of rosters. Do you think it's time for them to change something up? Hello?
I do think that Black Manta definitely needs to kind of go on with different adaptations this time, and we already see that it does. They have made some adaptations, then taking out Zerat and Sindra, both of the picks that Rebleed has been playing this tournament. I think he has played Lysandra as well, and going for the Ivan first pick. So kind of switching around the draft this time against Gucci.
Yeah, switching it around, and with the Ivan first pick, it's almost like you see that and you'd think that is Yasser going from the Ivan, but
I don't hear you.
actually, oh, you don't hear me. Hello? I'll change my internet, it's laggy. I think my co-caster is a little bit, he's experiencing some internet delays, but yeah, you would think Yasa is going to be the one taking the Ivan, but in fact it is maybe BLM is... I mean, I think they have played this before. They will get Reaper on the Jinx, so no Seraphine for them might be exactly the change-up that they need to bring it back. This matchup has proven to be very difficult for them in the past. This could be exactly what BLM need to do in order to finally take down Gucci, but we see Yasa is going to show himself the Viego for the first time in this tournament. He's shown his prowess on Rel, Brand, and the Ivan as well. It's going to be the first time in the Manta Cup he's featuring his Viego. His Linus will lock in the Cassante. Very, very powerful pick at the moment, and not something that I'm used to seeing him pick. You know, Linus is a player that often sits on that strong side bracket, but he, you know, going to go for the Cassante here. Is a weak side champion, and you can imagine Los Moderato will have a strong pick to respond to this. Gwen on the cards, and Gwen is locked in. Just as I said, Gwen instantly gets locked in, as it's a really good pick into the Cassante. You essentially have an advantage from early game to the late game. You scale well, you can kill him. Probably the one champion Cassante definitely struggles into. No Yone, so we won't see any 0-7-0 performances coming out here. But yeah, the Gwen does get locked in, and I can imagine the second rotation of bans will be targeted towards the mid lane champion pool. Mid lane not picked yet. The Alistar is getting banned out here by Gucci, so they are fearful of what Elrak can pull out. Something protective for the Jinx is what Gucci want to take off the board, and just as I said, mid lane champion pools want to be targeted. In fact, it will be the support champion pools. Alistar, Rel taken off. What's his face? Jesse picked up the Rel in a game yesterday, landed a massive hostile takeover, completely took over the game for the Gucci squad, and yeah, I think Black Manta taking note of that. You can imagine they've done their preparation here. They do not want to give Jesse that Rel again. My co-caster's back! Hello.
Happy to be back, and exactly. We see lots of bot lane kind of support champions being targeted in the phase 2, and I'm so curious to see what will Rebreed actually pick up here. It's most likely going to be the Lysandre if we see his match history, but three control mages of his being taken out in this draft in this game 1.
Yeah. I think the thing about Rebreathe is, you know, he's shown such a level of improvement that I don't think anyone expected. But I think one general criticism that can be said about him, his champion pool isn't the largest thing in the world. He isn't the kind of player who's gonna just, you know, confidently pick up a champion like Azir, who's, you know, on my screen right now. You take Azir here, it's almost a free game. You basically kill and shred every single person on the map. You scale alongside the Jinx and outrange the Jinx, which is a rare thing for a mid laner. So he's not going to pick that up. He's not going to pick up the likes of a Cassiopeia, who also has great value here against an Ivan Cassante. So there's a bit of a champion pool issue. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mid laners banned off the board right now. And, well, 3 of them are on the side of Black Manta. So Rebreathe's champion pool is pinched, hence why they've given him the R5 priority. But on the side of Black Manta, they go with the Milio and the Veigar. This is a Denza special, but I have to say, this might be a little bit of a mistake from BLM, because Rebreathe, before he joined Gucci, was a Kassadin main. And if I'm Rebreathe here, you lock that in straight away.
Yeah, I could see that, but I don't think Rebreathe has had that much success onto the Kassadin in the competitive landscape, so I'm curious to see what he will pull out. Definitely the Milo pick kind of denies the Lysandre pick, and it is the Kassadin. I'm happy to see the confidence by the young mid laner. He has had an amazing tournament so far, and yeah, as much as we talk about Stindra being his best champion, he was a Kassadin main when he joined Gucci.
Yeah, and he was one of the most, I mean, I don't want to say one of the most, but when he was climbing to, I think he managed to get himself to Diamond 2 from Emerald. And the one champion he played was Kassadin. He didn't pick anything else, and he was able to climb that much in a short amount of time. So he's got a really good matchup here. He did feature his Kassadin up against Rain D in the SLE. It didn't prove to be as successful as it was in his solo queue adventures, but we'll see if Ruth can bring some redemption to his main champion here, or previously main champion. And Mikus, based off draft so far, do you have a particular winner of just the drafting phase?
Yeah, before we go into that, I just want to acknowledge the fact that Black Manta has completely switched their strategies around, because we kind of know what this team picks. They are really reliant onto the Seraphine, onto the Karma champions like that, and meanwhile this time kind of picking like. It's hard to recognize this team here with the Cassante top lane and with Ivern in the jungle and Jinx on AD carry. They look like much more like some of these other teams that we have seen in this tournament. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Black Manta can do with these champions. The fact I haven't seen them on these picks as much as other picks could kind of make me go towards Gucci's draft, just because I don't think Black Manta is that experienced on these champions. But I really like Manta's draft. They have the Jinx, they have the Cassante, they have the front line, they have a lot of CC, lots of protection for the Jinx. So, I mean, if it was Beast Team Esports, I would definitely pick Black Manta's draft. But since Manta playing it, I just haven't seen them as much on these champions. But purely off a draft, yeah, I like Manta's draft a lot.
Yeah, I do like the BLM draft a lot, but I have to admit, and I remember saying this to our roster when we were prepping the finals against BLM. I was saying, you know, it doesn't matter what the matchup is. Kassadin is literally the perfect champion against BLM. They take the game slowly. They don't really do anything. They're very, very reactive. They're not proactive at all. And what's the best champion against that? The likes of a Kassadin, the likes of a Kayle, where you can literally just sit there, wait for your power spike, and then just run them over once you hit that. And, you know, feel free to watch back our finals video. That's basically what happened. They like BLM. They wait for power spikes. They don't do too much in the early game. And I mean, when we've seen that happen, we've seen BLM take you know, random fights, and it almost became their identity at one point. But when they did, I think they did that yesterday against Gucci. They just got wiped off across the floor everywhere, and they've picked up a full scaling team composition here. And, you know, Kassadin is going to be very, very happy with this situation, and just based off that, like I'm going to stand by the comment. I really do think Kassadin counters the entire playstyle of every single one of these players on the PLM roster, and that champion alone is what is going to make me vote for Gucci in this draft. But, you know, it's a different look for BLM, as you said. Completely different switch up. They usually like to play for their man in the top lane, but Linus Cassante is on weak side this time, so very, very different. But, ladies and gentlemen, I actually, before we talk more about this game, I am going to announce a quick little giveaway that we are doing. I hope I have the... Oh, I don't have the sound. I don't have sound on. Hang on. Let me... Quick little giveaway. Hang on. Boom! Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so what we're doing is a good chi bingo. Thanks to one of our staff members and former players, might be a future player, who knows, might be building some sort of special roster. Kanza, he has kindly offered 3 months of free Apple TV and 2 months of free Apple Music. And in order to win that, these are your bingo cards. Take a screenshot right now of your screen. And if 4 of these things happen, the first person to shout it out on the Twitch chat will win the prizes below. Take a screenshot. It is in our Discord server if you forget it. But take a screenshot of this. And if you are the first one to call out the bingo, you will win the prizes. So, yeah. Anyways, back to the game, Mikus. Yeah, lots to talk about. And just as I said, BLM, very different look this time.
Yeah, and about the giveaway, I think we are doing like a first one to shout to like notice 4 things. So
Yes.
even if like the first thing happens and you're the second one to notice it, you still need to like write it in the Twitch chat, and just the first one to claim 4 things noticed is the one to win. But yeah, I cannot be more excited about this game. It's such a huge historical matchup and such a huge stakes right now. And about the draft, I want to acknowledge the fact that when Cassante came out, Linus was one of the pioneers for this champion. I think he just spammed Cassante all the time in solo queue. He also is not that he's not that new to this champion. So yeah, all of these champions that BLM have picked are champions that are in their pockets, but just we haven't seen that much of these picks in their competitive games. That's all.
Yeah, I think it's been a while since I've seen BLM pick something very different to what they usually do. Seraphine was open here. They didn't decide to go for that. I'm gonna hide this image so we go back to the draft. But yeah, Seraphine was open here, available for them to pick. They didn't want to go for it. They decided to go for the Jinx. And Mikas, we've seen different styles of BLM. Often the case, previous roster, whenever they put Quishy on the super carry position, they just didn't really win. But it's a different player this time. It's Reaper. It's not Quishy. They have a player who, I mean, it's been a while since I've watched him play any of these champions, but a player who's probably more used to being on that carry role.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it definitely changes the balance of the team, if anything. Reaper definitely needs much more resources, and he was actually the best performing player for his squad last time when Gucci faced against Black Manta in the group stage, and he had quite a solid Seraphine performance. I think he didn't die for most of the game. I think he died only at the very end. And this time on the Jinx, definitely a champion that can carry much harder than the Seraphine, paired up with a player like Elrat on the Milo. I think he can do it. I think he can be the difference maker that helps Black Manta take down Gucci in for first time in an official game.
Yeah, and it will be the first time in an official game. BLM have they played against each other yesterday, and there was a lot of narrative. This was going to be their chance to take a game off Gucci. They failed to do so, but they will have another chance here again. And they've got actually more than one because it's a best of 3 series. So if they lose this game, they've got another one afterwards. But then if they lose 2 in a row, BLM once again will be knocked out of their own tournament. And because BLM, they are a very historic and well-known team. You know, what are the stakes here for them to perform? Because if I'm not mistaken, this might be one of their last chances to compete.
Absolutely, and BLM, as you say, is so much history for this squad. So many tournaments this squad has participated together. Organization created by Linus, by the man in the top lane. They have done so much. They have participated in Prime League, in SLE, I think even in CWL. They have done so much together, and they have won Manta Cup as well. And it's like a yearly tournament that they host. And after this team is most likely disbanding as a roster. Maybe not as an organization, but this roster won't play together anymore. And it would be definitely a fairy tale storyline for them to win their own tournament as the last time they play together, and it would be a beautiful tale. But for me, I just want Gucci to claim this title.
Yeah, Algren dropping a bit of a funny in the chat. Spoiler alert: Algren is not that funny. Anyway. So, one thing already I've noticed is that Varus is running the Arcane Comet, which means poke Varus on the cards for Algren, lethality build. What do you think about this choice in build path for Varus?
Well, I have to say, I wouldn't usually like it due to the amount of shielding and Cassante being on the opposite side. I feel like in different scenarios, Varus would need to be like more of a damage threat, not as much as a poke champion. But during this game, actually, Gucci have drafted themselves so many damage threats, so many carry champions with the Kassadin, with the Viego, with the Gwen. I feel like Algren can afford to use his champion this way. He can afford to play more of a poke-heavy playstyle here, and yeah, it's basically an opportunity created by the draft, and I think Algarin is safe to do so.
Yeah, I have to agree with that one, and I think the reason you do want to run poke is for that lane priority. Taking a look at the good sheet draft, you don't have too much to play for in the early game with a Kassadin in the mid lane. Actually, to be fair, now that I say that, it's a Veigar as the opposite number, which doesn't really do much in the early game either, so... but I mean, still does more than a Kassadin before level 6, so... yeah, understandable that you go for the poke Kassadin, poke Varus. So actually, Lost Moderato is going to find himself an Ivan in the enemy jungle. He's able to get the priority in the top lane, so goes for the invade. You know, despite not getting a kill, you do get information of where maybe is, so... That's nice.
Yeah, and you chunk out the jungler as well a little bit. I think he pushed in a massive wave, so he had that opportunity to use the time gained with it. And the wave is right now even in a good state. And actually, Viego is up there, Yasa here, and nope, nothing's gonna happen here.
Yeah, not much gonna happen here, but see, every time the camera does pan over to the bot lane, it is Algren landing some poke onto Reaper, already half HP. And see why maybe this poke Varus was the right thing to do up against the Jinx. Create some pressure in that lane. Yes, getting that Rift Herald. Oh, sorry, Scuttle Crab on the top side. So the Gucci jungler will be a little bit ahead on CS. And see, Ivan in mid. Don't expect much to happen. So this is a Kassadin and a Veigar with an Ivan gank. Yeah, not enough damage, so Rebreathe will just be able to walk away. Ooh, taking a turret shot maybe as well, so... I don't expect much to be happening in the early game, to be fair.
Yeah, I think lots of scaling in this early game, especially from Gucci's side. Even in bot lane, where we kind of you mentioned Lethality Virus being like lane dominant. I think before some early items like right now.
Yeah, Algren caught by himself. He's going to cleanse away from the slow. So holding on to that flash. Going to have to eventually use it. You saw Jesse roamed up to the river to secure the crab, but actually did go by maybe. Beautiful knock-up coming out from Jesse, but that's a level 5 Kassadin, so not much follow-up there. The thing about, you know, Kassadin in competitive is, part of it is the Kassadin player knowing how to use it, but also part of it is the team needs to understand you can't really play for mid, because... You saw there, great knock-up, great comment from Jesse, but, I mean, it's Kassadin before level 6, he'll kind of just look at you, won't do much.
Yeah, can't do much indeed, but right now they might have an opportunity to do something in this bot line. No, nothing will happen, BLM will recall. Yeah, and I was about to say that before having a couple of first backs, like first item components, yeah, this Varus is not doing as much as well. I think his main task for first couple of minutes is use his E on repeat, kind of stack that mana flow band, and get some farm in. And meanwhile, Gucci using the early recall by BLM to secure themselves a dragon.
Yeah, they get themselves the dragon. Rebreathe is level 6 now, so mid laner of Chi will be able to play for that. And actually, it's going to get stolen away by maybe the Ivan is going to show some value. Yasa got some Drake stolen away from him yesterday, and it's going to happen once again. As the jungler of BLM clutches that Smite Steal out. Gucci will lose that objective despite having the priority.
Yeah, I have to acknowledge, maybe has had maybe struggled a bit more in mid to late game, but during the early phases, this man just seems like he can't do nothing wrong. And here again, Gucci finding himself this tiny lead, but it's absolutely neglected by maybe it's just the individual outplay.
Yeah, great steal from him because I was against all odds, actually flashing away to safety, making sure he doesn't drop first blood in the meantime as well. So great stuff from him. And, well, BLM will be really happy with that. Algren just get rooted up in the bot lane. Jesse having to defend and out of nowhere, I feel like the Jinx has recalled and started to get priority in this lane. And I have noticed that Lost Moderato has built up a bit of a farm lead as he's going to get some attention here. We said weak side top, but there's 3 people here. Linus is going to ult him away from his team, but towards his enemy turret. But Linus, that is a Gwen. I'm not sure if this is the best decision as Lost Moderato. One more auto attack is going to do, but Linus once again dragging him away from his team. I do believe Lost Moonrise will go down here. And it's... Oh, he's dodging away from some abilities. It will go into the hands of Linus. A very delayed first blood, meaning that Rebreathe will get a plate in the mid lane and a small farm lead. But nonetheless, first blood for BLM is exactly what they enjoy to see.
I would say not a good result for Gucci overall, but in a way, well played by Lost Murder. He actually bought him a lot of time, made BLM use much more resources than they would have wanted to, and yeah, well played by the Gwen. Almost turned it around to get the one for one, but still, at the end of the day, well played by Black Manta. They are having themselves a solid early game.
Yeah, solid early game indeed. I think one big exclamation mark that BLM need to pay attention to is that their Veigar is behind on the Kassadin 8 minutes into the game. I'll tell you now, when I'm in solo queue and I see that Kassadin is winning in the early game, I genuinely kind of shit myself.
you kind of shit yourself.
Yeah, it's like you know, you hold tab and you're like, yeah, I mean, we could still try to win, but I'm like, ooh, I don't know. I mean, like, you see what I mean? It's looking pretty scary. Like, if Kassadin's doing this now, it's only gonna get worse from here. As Denza put down to half HP straight off one trade. So, yeah, as I said, scary situation for BLM to, you know, maybe have to keep in the back of their minds.
Yeah, and it won't get much easier. And Veigar just does not have the kit. He does not have the abilities to kind of match up against the Kassadin. I feel like Kassadin can just simply dodge over everything Veigar has to offer. And yeah, I'm curious to see what kind of adaptations will Black Manta do to deal with this. I feel like if I would be in game, I would be even like. Thinking about swapping around the top lane and mid lane, because this Veigar losing already at this stage of the game, it will get absolutely painful here.
Yeah, it's gonna get rough for him, but you know, there is a Milio and a Jinx, two champions that can stay very safe here. And actually, I see Yasa is looking for an invade onto maybe. Camera is focused on the bot lane. You can see Daisy was dropped, and I have to say, I'm not a fan of what Denza is doing. He's roaming way too much. And when you roam against the Kassadin, Kassadin stays in lane. You can see already almost a 15 CS lead built up by Rebreathe. At this point of the game, he's got 96 CS at 9 minutes. The whole point of Kassadin in the early lane phase, he's so weak. You're supposed to just pressure him, but if you just roam all across the map and not get anything, he's only got 1 assist off these roams. Rebreathe is going to get an absolutely free lane and scale for free.
Yeah, and a champion like the Veigar. I mean, Veigar also very reliant on getting those stacks, stacking up those minions, stacking up that Q, that ability power. So a questionable decision, but yeah, we know Rebreathe, not Rebreathe, but Denzer as more of a kind of defensive.
Oh, Yasa is gonna flash away from the basketball, forcing maybe to flash as well. So both junglers will trade the flash there. Came off the back of an early recall from Denza, as the farm lead for Rebreathe is slowly growing. You have to feel, Mikus, I mean, I don't think we played against Kassadins too much ourselves, and usually I was the one running that. But how scary is it usually for you as an ADC as well? You're a Jinx player. How scary is it for you knowing that there is a Kassadin and he's winning in the early game?
Yeah, it's annoying. You exactly how you say. You press tab, you see Kassadin is getting big, and you're like, I will have to deal with this so soon. And once you do, like, you just get ulted in your face. But I think it's gonna be a big fight here.
Yeah, big fight potentially. Chain of Corruption is gonna miss. Reaper brought down to low HP. Jesse gets a massive charm up. Rebreathe is not gonna quite pick up the kill, but maybe is going to fall. Flash away from the cage. Linus teleported down here as well, so he's gonna lose out on a lot of farm in the top lane. Kill already going over to Good She. Yasa now on taking over the Ivan. We'll just use the Heartbreaker to get away. The Primordial Burst is not gonna finish off Yasa. The flash thrown from Denza does not kill anyone. Linus going for the flash. Oh no, this is disaster, as Algren is going to pick up a kill for him with flashes used. Teleport from Linus, flash from Denza, summers from Reaper, and they get diddly squat as Gucci pick up 2 kills and plates in the top lane.
Linus just wants this win too much here. He's not patient at all with it, and yeah, just gets punished for it. And Black Manta kind of has to be happy about
but
Algren
Algren overstaying. He did this earlier when the rest of the team were doing Dragon. He just walks up as if there's no one there. Denza drops the cage. Algren nowhere to go with no summoner spells. A very, very big mistake from the AD carry of Gucci.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake. Giving over some consolation prize for the Black Manta's mid laner, and yeah, that's exactly what this Veigar needed. A bit of a gold. Meanwhile, Lost Murder is actually a recall down, but he's actually having a... He's on an item lead.
Yeah, he is on an item lead. He's going to dodge away from the Q3. He's going to have to get some backup from Maybe here. So it's a 1 versus 2. Lost Minareto will be going down here. Kill credit going over to Linus. So another overextension from a Gucci player, which means BLM will pay dividends for that. So I feel like BLM seem to be reading mistakes from Shi players, but they will drop a Herald bot lane. Bit of a disaster there for the side lanes of Shi.
Yeah, repeatedly, Gucci players are caught kind of maybe not fully respecting their opposing squad's ability to challenge. And another roam by Dancer here, and they're gonna catch out Jessie.
Yeah, well, Reaper got the reset off killing the Herald. Super Mega Death Rocket, not quite enough damage to take off Jessie. Denza doesn't have the flash. He's using the previous fight. And yeah, as you said, once again, Denza brought himself back up farm-wise. But as he roams to get nothing, he will get himself into a deficit once again. Rebreathe 3 stacks on that Rod of Ages. Algren, he might be doing that classic mistake he's been doing. As he steps up to 2. I hope this guy realizes 2 is a bigger number than 1. As he seems to not realize that a few times this game. As another breakout duel is happening in the top lane. Seems like there's fights happening all across the board. It's Minareto, item completed. Linus still yet to complete his. And, back and forth game in this early part of the game.
Yeah, and I like what Algren is doing overall. He knows how strong he is at this point in the game. He knows he has finished the item. And yeah, he's just pulling out so much pressure, even stopping the recall. And it's a difficult game to play. Always, like, you're kind of a weak side AD carry at this position. And you kind of want to make the pressure. You kind of want your opponents to make your opponents think about you. But you kind of need to balance on that edge of knife and keep them interested while not getting caught. And they're setting up a dive.
Yeah, the BLM bot lane needs to be careful. Chain of Corruption already used. Jesse's gone for the engage. Yasa here, full HP, and he's gonna finish off Elrat. Takes over the Milios, so a little bit squishy, but it will just be a clean dive and a turret. Jungler of Gucci makes a fantastic call to go for the dive there. Well executed by Jesse and Algren as well. And we'll get the first turret of the game.
Yeah, and Jesse there proving that Ignite is the best sounder spell for him, getting yet another kill with it. And well played by Gucci. I was saying that they're playing kind of weak side AD carry, but it feels like right now Gucci is having 3 strong side lanes, and they're pulling away from Black Manta in this mid game.
Yeah, I have to admit, I feel like BLM, I like what they did in the draft, but I don't like the way they're pulling it off. You know, you lock in this Cassante so early in the draft, you're basically saying top is weak side, but it's like old habits die hard. Maybe just keeps coming top lane. Linus is at a CS deficit despite being 2 kills up. It's like, it's a Cassante, you know, Cassante does what Cassante does, no matter how fed he is. Not kind of ignoring the Jinx. Maybe not the best decision here, but potential Rift Herald take now for BLM.
Yeah, Jinx is not here. This is a 5v4 for Gucci, and this might be a disaster for Black Manta if they don't get out.
Yeah, Black Manta understand that their Jinx is nowhere to be seen, and the fight is already starting to break out. Rebreathe is featured in this, so keep your eyes on the Kassadin. Level 11, you know, BLM understand the threat that he brings. Daisy already being brought down, so Ivan Ultimate not available. Algren will join up with the rest of this team. The baby cage is going to catch Yasa, forcing the flash out from him. Chain of Corruption onto Denza. Look at the damage from Rebreathe already. Level 12 is the level for him. Jesse is going to get himself to safety as he jumps towards his team. 1 target down. It will be the Veigar dead, so no baby cage available. Lost Minareto gets Q3 back to the BLM turret, but will get himself safely away as the Rift Herald now the focus. He pings on the minimap onto the Jinx, but I do believe Gucci will be happy taking that Herald, and you can already see this is why you don't just leave Kassadin to scale in the lane. 17 minutes into the game, already doing this much damage.
Yeah, and he's what's the item? A Rod of Ages is not stacked just yet, and once it gets stacked, I think this is going to be a very, very early level 16 casting actually, and I think it's going to be like pre 26 minutes or something like that.
Oh, Yasuo walks into the enemy jungle, finds
He has
himself
no
a
flash.
Linus, doesn't have... Can he use the Heartbreaker to get himself to safety? But the Q3 is going to finish off the kill. Linus gets a shutdown onto the Viego. Won't pursue anything else, but it will be the pings for the Dragon. Gucci's jungler being dead. Don't think they will be able to contest this. And as much as I said, playing for Cassante, not the angle, Linus does have 3 kills. He is looking scary.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the laning phase did not look as good, and it felt like Las Mordreto again kind of had a very good game against Linus, as he has every single time I think they have met. Yeah, Linus just with the roams, just being at the right place at the right time, getting himself a lot of kills now, getting a shutdown onto Yasuo here, and he himself is having a fine game as well. He just needs to be much more patient, Linus. I know you really want this first win against Gucci in your legacy, but you just sometimes get too trigger happy, and I feel like if he can balance out the aggression that he has, I think Black Manta is not in that poor of a position, and already having 2 Drakes in this game.
Yeah, I just typed in Twitch chat. Can someone make a meme of things that has happened since Los Moderato got a kill in the Manta Cup? Last game 0-7-0. It's currently 0-2-0. I feel like I'm not sure if he's doing some sort of TikTok challenge of like a no-kill top laner, just perma split push. If someone's about to die, just walk away. But nah, I mean, jokes aside, he is drawing the pressure. He played the lane really well. Of course, it is a good matchup for the Cassante, but for the Gwen. But let's discuss the significance of BLM maybe's Dragon Steal early onto the game, because, you know, despite the fights not going their way, they are 2 dragons up right now.
Yeah, exactly. And if they didn't steal that first dragon, I feel like the momentum and would have shifted at that early game, and they would have been 1 dragon down right now. So yeah, huge play there by Maybe, and while the score sheet might not show it, I feel like Maybe has had a very solid game, matching up with the Viego in the farm as well. Kind of setting himself up to be that secondary support for this Jinx and for this Veigar, and not letting the Kassadin roll all over them. And so far so good for Black Manta. We know them as the team fight team. We know that they really like to like these deathfall comps, and Los Mordredo is fighting yet again.
Yeah, fighting yet again, and once more, it is a 1 versus 2. Both ghosts are going to get popped here. Los Mordredo nowhere to go. Maybe going to secure that kill. So, once again, they catch a side laner out. Gucci. They've entered the stage of the game where you're waiting for this Kassadin to hit level 16. It's really tricky for both side laners to create any sort of pressure. So, great catch from BLM.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have seen that being kind of Los Mordreto's downfall in this Manta Cup so far. He quite often gets baited by the opposite side to go for these all-ins, to go for these 1v1s that he kind of sees. He knows that in a clear 1v1, I will win this 1v1. But the jungler is always there, and he just gets baited repeatedly. And as much as he is drawing a lot of pressure, I feel like the pressure lost when he's dead has been a difficult situation for Gucci, and the gold he's giving over as well. Even though, of course, dying multiple times, the gold giving it smaller and smaller.
Denza.
Oh, it's gonna be 1v1.
Yeah, it's gonna be a 1v1, but Aldrin? Okay. Tip 80 carry players, don't walk into a Veigar, as a teleport is gonna follow. And Algren and Los Minoretto, I'm not sure if they've had their coffee this morning, because they just get wiped out. But Jesse and the rest definitely have had their coffee, as Rebreathe gonna get himself his first 2 kills of the game. He's gonna do another rift walk forward. Level 14 now on the mark. Yasuo taking over the Melio, playing some defensive stats on this Kassadin. Oh, and Rebreathe looking so scary. Daisy gonna keep pushing forward. This is out on the knockup, but yeah, Algren was a very big performer yesterday. Today, he's...
Yeah, he has had a couple of missteps right now. So does Last Murderetto, but I feel like the other three players of Gucci's side that are like kind of that have woken up a little bit earlier are the ones kind of fixing their mistakes.
Oh
And
my god.
oh, he didn't get it. Huh? That's tragedy. Yeah, but I mean, in Rebreathe we trust.
Yes, in
He
Rebreathe
has
we
been an absolute star this tournament so far, and yeah, level 10, like right now, not level 10, level 14, very, very close to that level 16 casting. I think that's all Gucci's communications right now. They're like, okay, we just need level 16 casting, and then it's GG. Then it's absolutely over. And they're kind of right with that assumption, but they cannot give up too much resources meanwhile.
Yeah, I'm going to click on Cassin, and he's so close to level 15, so I feel like he gets level 15 here very soon. But they don't want to give up this dragon, because actually, sorry, they are going to give up this dragon. They're not that afraid of the Mountain Soul, and instead they will pay their attentions to the Baron buff, and they're only deploying the solo laners to deal with this. Rebreathe did not manage to hit that level 15, but with the dragon already taken down,
Algren.
I do believe Algren has once again found himself mispositioned, and this might have been a bad call from the Gucci squad, because BLM secured the dragon, they lose their AD carry, and they don't even get an extra level on Rebreathe, because I feel like the AD carry of Gucci was so consistent yesterday. It's borderline, he's costing them the game a little bit with this mispositioning and frontlining on Varus.
Yeah, just trying to do a bit too much, and I think they do need to. Yeah, it's a difficult thing for teams to play with champion like Castin, right? It's often so difficult. Like whenever you play solo queue, you're kind of in a mindset of, oh, I need to carry. My team is always bad. Blah blah blah. So it's kind of hard to adapt in a competitive landscape where you sometimes the best thing you can do is do nothing, be behind your front line, be behind your support, just don't cause any more issues for your team as they carry. And yeah, Algren just struggling to do that here a little bit, always wanting to be in position to poke, to do something on the map, but yeah, not the best game so far. But Gucci is still having a solid gold lead, and with Kassadin on their team, with Gwen on their team, I think they don't feel too shabby about the game state right now. But they do need to wake up quickly.
Yeah, they do. Mountain Soul is ticking away. You've got to poke Varus on your team. Yes, he actually really like the Serpent's Fang. I guess if Mountain Soul is the one being secured, you're not too worried about that. But yep, the Kassadin timer is ticking away. He is level 15, slowly approaching that level 16 mark. But I have to say, I'm very confused by Gucci's choice to group up. Essentially, when Kassadin is this close to 16, you want solo XP, put him on a side lane. But you know, they're deciding to group up, trying to make plays as a 5, when I feel like splitting is the option here for them.
Absolutely, especially for Kassadin, because he definitely needs this level 16.
Ooh,
but they will look for a fight right now.
Yeah, Elrat is getting caught out here, but look, Rebreathe has stepped himself into the baby cage, but that Kassadin is so powerful. Super Mega Death Rocket wasn't able to finish him off. Jesse now is 1 versus 4. Kassadin will have to TP and base away. Jesse with the fancy movement is going to try and get away instead. Linus does go on a rampage. Lost Madrasa is going to continue split pushing down that bot lane. Does have teleport available. So does Rebreathe. I don't think Gucci want to just give this up for free, although that might have to be the call, because Denza, he's deployed himself back to the bot lane to respond to that push. So
look
a
at
very
Algren.
ill-taken fight. Algren.
Oh!
God, it was close, but I actually think he missed the Baron with his Q. But Rebreathe now, chasing Denza on the bot lane. Linus was going to teleport defensively, but look at Rebreathe. He is popping off on the Kassadin, the signature champion. He takes off Denza already. Lost Minerato now teleporting past the turret. Level 14, level 15 for Kassadin as well. Let's see if Jinx is going to get the shutdown. He does. Rebreathe doesn't quite finish off, and Jinx just got so much gold into her pocket. And this is disaster for Gucci, as now look at the gold lead. It is diminishing for Gucci. Baron buff secured. There's not many more options left for them.
Yeah, Gucci, I have to say the word, they are absolutely throwing this lead. They are not comfortable with playing with looks like with Kassadin here, as Kassadin has been level 15 for what is it, like 3 minutes right now, and they just cannot get themselves to just let themselves win. And yeah, mistake after mistake, and they're in a difficult position now. The gold league has shrunk to just 15, just 500 gold, I believe, and with this Salt Drake approaching, being barren down. I feel like Black Manta are in a prime position to get their first win here.
Yeah, they're in a great spot, and just as you said, Rebreathe has been stuck on this level 15 for so long because... Oh, uh-oh.
There we go.
There it is. Well, Rebreathe has just hit level 16,
Only
so
4 minutes
this
later.
is where it gets very scary for BLM. Aldrin level 12. Very weak right now, but this dragon is spawning. Kassadin is now a very scary thing to deal with, but Yasa getting caught out here by Linus. Gucci's jungler. If he falls here, this will be a free dragon for BLM. He's going to use the Heartbreaker to get away. Rebreathe. Level 16 on the Kassadin, very mobile, so will get himself to safety. Recall coming out. 10 seconds spawn on the Mountain Dragon. I actually think Gucci, they might just be handshaking this as well. I feel like they've just given objective after objective for absolutely free, no contest at all. Yeah, BLM will start up this dragon. The contests are too late. Yasa completed the recall, won't be able to get here in time, and Gucci, they are going to just classically group up once again. Not really playing to the strengths of their composition as, yeah, dragon already secured. Look at the damage that Jinx is able to do. 2.5 items completed. Rebreathe now left all in on his own, but it's a very mobile Kassadin, level 16 already, and will get himself to safety. And Nikis, when are Gucci gonna realize you have a 1-3-1 split push composition?
Yeah, I would say that like the whole time they should have like 1-3-1, then they should have split apart because their comp just so unmatchable for Black Manta. And only right now, I feel like right now they could have grouped, but yeah, just not on the same page at all so far. Yasa here gets caught out. Essentially, like at this moment in the game, with the dragon coming up, getting chunked to 1 HP is as good as getting killed. So yeah, the fact he escapes does not bring much value, and Gucci loses the soul as well. And yeah, right now, Jinx is just getting so much more harder to kill with the shields, with extended, with upgraded defensive stats from the dragon, and as well. And yeah, Kassadin is level 16. He might as well be level 18, and Jinx will still be so hard to kill.
Yeah, really difficult to kill, but I've noticed that Gucci, I finally realized maybe we just keep the team comp to play the way it's supposed to be played, as the 1-3-1 has been pulled off, and you can already see the pressure it's bringing as side lanes are being pushed in. Fnatic Death Bush here without a bush.
Yeah, we're wolves. We're wolves here.
Yeah, Wolf Camp cosplay.
Wolf.
But I think what the interesting thing here is BLM, despite all the objectives, despite kill leads, they are actually behind on gold. Not by much, it's basically even, but I'm curious to know where that actual gold lead is, because being behind on gold, considering the stats, interesting look for sure.
Yeah, and talking about the shutdowns, we see Los Mordereto 0 for rocking. Okay, it just changed, but he just had, I think, 150 gold shutdown on him, so beautiful system, right? Game, beautiful system.
Yep.
That being said, Gucci definitely needs to find themselves some vision pockets. They need to find themselves some picks, because approaching these teamfights from like a very well viewable area, I think there is no way to get through the support that this Jinx has, and I think Gucci is struggling to find themselves a good jump on them.
Yeah, definitely a tough situation, but I have to say, in terms of the map control, it feels like because of this 1-3-1 threat, Kassadin is just so powerful right now. It's hard to catch him out. Gucci understanding that you're going to want to play for this Kassadin as well. Actually, Linus going aggressive onto Rebreathe here, but you can see Kassadin.
Sante is so tanky. What the
Cassante is really tanky, but important to note, he has gone for a, you know, mostly MR build. So the likes of Gwen and Kassadin will be challenging to break him down, but the Viego and Varus definitely will be able to do that if a fight is to break out. But it seems like both teams playing so defensive as this game is on a knife's edge.
Yeah, absolutely on a knife's edge. It can't get much closer than this. People are approaching their 5th items in the game, and actually 4th items, I would say. Any kind of misstep right now just might mean an end, right? Like a team fight in the middle, it would not be that difficult for champions like Jinx, like Kassadin, to just chunk down these objectives and finish the game. So no room for error left here. A dead even game, but Black Manta in a bit better position, like stats wise, due to the dragon. Bakuchi maybe feeling themselves quite fine due to their solo lanes just being so well scaled here.
Yeah, and I have to say, I feel like this is BLM's comfort zone. The late game team fights with a Jinx, 3 items completed as well. This is where BLM strive. This is where they're going to be the strongest that they can be as a roster. This is what they know. So if there's a time to take their to finally get a game off Good Chi, now's the time. Mikus, I feel like both teams playing so passive here, not wanting to make a mistake as they know the stakes of giving up another team fight. This could go either way, as Algren is going to find himself caught once again. He seems to have done that. A little bit of a special. I'm not sure what he was doing, trying to flank on the lethality. Varus, admittedly, this Varus has he's been more of a player for... Oh, actually,
but Denza is now
find a catch onto Denza.
flash.
We talk about one player getting caught out. Here's another, as Denza's going to get taken out by Rebreathe. Rebreathe is going to play some sort of compensation for his AD carry getting caught out. Lost Moderator pushing down that bot lane. Look at Yasa, he's arriving here. If he gets the Baron, he doesn't quite commit the steal, but it's going to be a breakout of the fight. This is a 4 versus 4, but Linus is committing a teleport into the bot lane. Rebreathe having to jump away. Jesse's going to be the first one to fall. He's not going to be able to do any damage for now. Linus 1v1ing Lost Moderator on the side lane. Going to pop the shield, and let's see what happens here. Lost Moderator is a very strong Gwen, but Linus is so tanky. Jesse was the only one to fall from Good Chi. So with the Baron buff taken, Good Chi actually managed to get an inhibitor. With this Elder Drake spawning, not a bad situation. Algren wasn't there, but keep your eyes on him because he seems to have been the individual to cause the downfall for Good Chi. He's able to position correctly at this Elder take. This could mean monumental results for the side of Good Chi, but we'll see. Maybe he has stolen this before, but he's getting one shot. Algren is going to get the kill. Dragon secured by Good Chi, and they've managed to get themselves to a big objective. Rebreathe on the Kassadin is being absolutely massive. He is doing so much damage. It looks like they are suffering the case of BLM versus Kassadin. We've seen this before in a previous game. Kassadin is the BLM counter. It fits so well against their team composition. They get the Baron, they lose out on the Elder.
Yeah, back and forward. We are going in a super late game here. And this game is absolutely popping off. And whoever says that this is not a rivalry, it absolutely is. These two teams always deliver. Even though Good Chi always wins, maybe they won't this time. Yeah. And it's always on knife's edge, just like that. It looked like maybe he was about to steal it again, but Rebreathe says, nah, not this time. I will kill you before I'll let you do that. And yeah, Good Chi secure themselves the Elder Dragon, but they definitely need to do something with it, or will they just use it as a kind of distraction to not let Oh, but Rebreathe goes for it.
Oh yeah, Rebreathe going very aggressive onto Reaper, but look how many shields this Jinx is able to have. I feel like it's the two big objectives countering each other. Yes, the Elder is powerful, but the Baron is keeping the minions on favor for BLM. But you can see BLM, they are hesitant to take any sort of fight. They've understood the situation. this Kassadin is going to one-shot anything he touches. As a beautiful baby cage, it's going to catch Yasa, but the flash away to safety. So the ultimate from Veigar not doing too much damage to Jesse, so no ultimate available for the Veigar. It just seems like the push will continue from Good Chi. They are not the healthiest, but they are confident to keep going. Super Mega Death Rocket is going to catch Algren, but not going to finish him off. I feel like if BLM had the Elder buff, that was definitely a dead Varus, but you can see the waves are starting to get tricky as that super minion is going to have to be answered. But you can see Good Chi, a little bit of lack of synergy as they aren't able to sync the waves. Very difficult thing to do, to be fair, as Ivan is going to summon Daisy to try and defend the base even more. Zap going to land onto Los Midoreto. Won't just do much. Just have to admit, BLM are defending against the Elder Dragon very efficiently here. Don't think Good Chi have been able to find an angle. You would imagine Good Chi would play onto this top lane and mid lane turret with no inhibitor available, but instead, you can see Yasa is on bot lane. Precarious situation, but looks like BLM are defending very well.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the Elder Dragon, is that it definitely helps you fight. It makes you so strong, and looks like Linus is fancying himself a chase here. But yeah, the Elder Dragon does help you fight, but it does not necessarily help you push. It does not buff up your minions. So as long as BLM are avoiding any kind of oversteps here, they can wait it out. But yeah, Good Chi has used this Elder Dragon as the counter for Baron buff, and both of these buffs looks like they're gonna run out without any real damage being dealt to the structure. So again, we are on deadlock here.
Yeah, the scary thing, I guess, for Good Chi is that BLM just picked up so much gold. Good Chi essentially just shoved a ton of minions into the hands of Good Chi, but you know, I think for Good Chi, the scary part here is this Varus, I'll be honest, he's useless. He's not going to do any damage. I don't see a world where he kills anyone. Breathe is trying his best, and you can see he is in a position where he needs to 1 versus 9. His team have definitely let him down in a lot of situations. But, you know, as you said, playing with Kassadin is difficult. I understand what Algren was going for. He wants to play aggressive on this Varus, but stepping up way too many times, giving over way too many kills, and it might bite them in the arse as, well, they survived the Elder take, so I think BLM, they're in a really good position to close this first game out.
They absolutely are, and I feel like in a clear and clean 5v5, there's almost no way of them surviving this, and Yasa is here kind of getting caught out.
Yeah, he is getting caught out, but we'll just back away for now. I feel like if you're Good Chi, the call is simple. Start split pushing again. You know, you've gone for a period where you've split pushed. Gwen got an inhibitor in the bot lane. Rebreathe was able to catch people out on the side. Instead, we've opted for the group up once again, and you can see Linus playing with so much freedom here. 5v5 is what BLM want. Definitely not what Good Chi wants with their team composition here, as Linus jumping forward, trying to see if he can catch anyone. Algren mispositioning, a little bit confused with where the Varus is standing right now. Let's see. BLM still playing forward. Algren's gone back into melee range. What on earth are you doing? He's going to find himself caught out by Linus. Algren has costed the game for Good Chi. Once again, Linus is going to finish off the AD carry as he goes unstoppable. The fight's going to break out. Rebreathe going to try and do what he can, but I don't think the Kassadin is strong enough for this. Rebreathe in a 1 versus 3. He goes into the Zhonya's, but I do believe BLM will finish this off, and Algren once again gets caught out all by himself. He is, I don't want to say solo lost the game, but it unfortunately did look like that. Caught out multiple times, and BLM will push the game. Mikas, this could be the first time BLM take Good Chi.
They are very close to doing so. It's only going to be Los Mordereto, the player with 0 and 4 score, kind of trying to 1v2 here, and just maybe he needs to focus the wave, and he is on a champion to kind of do so, but the teleport is coming in.
Yeah, teleport coming in, and they're 4 members strong. This could be it. This could be the time for BLM to answer the call of Good Chi. They bite back in the revenge series. The rivalry is on the cards for them. 1 game going into the hands of BLM.
A historic moment for Black Manta organization as they, for the first time,
take down Gucci Gaming, and what a time to do so. Black Manta Cup semi-finals. Black Manta takes the lead in game 1, and it would be a fantastic storyline for them if they would be able to close out this series in game 2.
Yeah, if they are able to do this, the implications here are massive. Not only will BLM be able to conquer their demons of the past, of the previous Manta Cup, and progress even further, but they have taken a game off Gucci. They've never done this in their history, and they managed to do it today. This could be the chance for BLM to rewrite history and take a series off of Gucci, let alone just a game. But Mikus, what a performance from BLM. They didn't give up. They didn't break a sweat, I feel. They just stuck to their game plan. They stuck to what they know. And despite Rebreathe's best efforts, I feel like Gucci, they faltered in a massive way. But Mikus, BLM, what a game from them.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's definitely huge celebrations in the voice chats for Black Manta. They have finally done it. They have taken down their arch nemesis Gucci in a game, but it won't be a sweet celebration for them unless they are able to close this one out. And lots of good things to take for Gucci as well. They were in a position to win this game, and I think going in game 2, they still will play with lots of confidence. So, yeah, let's see how it goes.
Yeah, let's see how it goes indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back as we will head into a short break. But just a reminder, we do have a giveaway going. Well, actually, where is this? I forgot where it went. Was it here? Oh yeah, here it is. We do have a giveaway going. Just a reminder for people, if you get 4 of these cards, these bingo cards, and you type in bingo in the chat, if you're the first one to do it, you will win the prize of 3 months of Apple TV, 2 months of Apple Music. I do believe some of the cards here have already happened. So BLM win a game. That has happened. So keep your eyes out on other things to happen as Lost Minnesota didn't get a solo kill. Agron definitely didn't get a triple kill. I love how those are the 2 cards there. Rough game from 2 of them. But
Jesse got the kill with Ignite.
Yeah, Jesse did get a kill with Ignite. So keep your eyes out on the following games to see if any else happens. If none happens, then we'll just give it on to a random person in chat. So, yeah. Mikus, we will go to a quick break, but don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2 will be coming very soon. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the broadcast here. BLM, they take that historic victory finally against Gucci, and Mix, I have to say, what this means essentially is that BLM have conquered a demon that they've been wanting to for the longest time imaginable. They must be feeling so good about themselves, and yeah, I think they've got so much momentum. They must feel so proud.
Yeah, and a key thing that I actually understood during this game, that somewhere in the middle, I feel like BLM changed their mentality. They often in these games during this losing streak that they had against Gucci, they kind of try to do so much. They had to try to go for plays. They felt like, oh, if we're not gonna get a lead against Gucci, we will lose the game anyway. So they kind of forced the issue a lot of times. But this time they just waited. They didn't do much. They picked themselves strong scaling comp, lots of shielding for the hypercarry, and they waited for Gucci to make the mistake themselves. And the mistakes did come. Some of Gucci players got caught, and just like that, everything else was history. And when they had advantageous fights that Gucci themselves gave them, they were able to close this one out, and very well done by Black Manta. But sometimes moments like these take a lot of emotions out of you and lots of like energy, mental energy to secure games like these. The job is not done for Black Manta, even though they got themselves the first win. They will be they won't be happy about it if they will not qualify for the playoff, for the finals. And yeah, right now the bigger kind of challenge appears. Can they close this one out? It's much more difficult to close out a series than to win one game.
Yeah, I'm so happy you bring that up, because or like the point of BLM playing in a very different way to how they've done in previous matchups against Gucci, because I feel like Gucci they've always been a team to build rosters that are aggressive. They always will look for plays. We aren't the kind of I guess camp that just sits back and waits for an opportunity. BLM, when they faced us in the past, they've tried to fight us at our own game, and they weren't able to. This time they play their game, and you can see this Gucci roster they just made mistake after mistake. I felt like playing, I get the pick of the Kassadin. It's a fantastic pick into the Veigar, and we saw in the latter parts of that game, it was one-shotting people basically left, right, and center. But the problem was the rest of the Gucci roster, they didn't understand to wait for the Kassadin. Let's not make that mistake let's not lose the game before Kassadin hits that power spike. And unfortunately for them, they did. And BLM were able to grab the win, and it's massive for them. I believe we are ready to go into draft here, as it already has started. We already see Veigar instantly picked, as it was massive for them in the previous game. But Reboot understanding that the Kassadin maybe not something that the team is that good at playing around, will get himself the Xerath.
Yeah, the Xerath is locked in, and I'm actually surprised that they didn't that they kind of changed around the draft. I feel like Black Manta could have kept themselves banning Xerath and Syndra and just force Rebreed on his third champion. Of course, the Kassadin did look amazing as well, so Rebreed keeps up his amazing performance in the Manta Cup here. And yeah, but the draft quite similar to the last time from Black Manta's side, especially with the solo lanes.
Yeah, definitely with the solo lanes. Las Midoreto will get his famous Tom Kench. Linus secures his famous Cassante once again. So the solo lanes from Manta Cup will look like a similar story. No Ivan on the board, banned away from Yasa, meaning that maybe we'll get his hands on the Jarvan. Jarvan into Rel, not the easiest, but into Xerath. Very effective champion there. As we come in second rotation of bans Mikis. Looks like BLM are going to stick to the game plan. They are going to follow a similar suit. But Gucci, I want to add a little bit of flavor to this. Wiggies was not there drafting with the team in the first game, and he is back. So 100% win rate without Wiggies for this Manta Cup team in Gucci. He has returned to draft, and probably hence why a lot more structure to this draft this time around.
Yeah, and we see no Ivan for
Oh my
BLM
God.
this time, but it is an Amomo pick in the jungle. I've seen, I think maybe, I've seen maybe play this champion. I don't remember much success he has had on it, but a lot of crowd control coming in here for Black Manta.
Yeah, a lot of crowd control, and what better champion to pick in the AD carry position than a very slippery unit. Zeri is hovered here for Gucci, and I really like it. Take a look at the band. It is Jinx, Kai'Sa, Senna, Sivir, all taken off the board. The AD carry pools are being pinched here, so Zeri will get locked in for Algo, and had a really good game against Beast Team Esports on this. Unfortunately, they did lose that, but he performed particularly well himself. As Milio gets hovered here for Jesse, which means Rel,
That's a great pick.
Yeah, probably going into the jungle. If this gets locked in, that wombo combo, it becomes so difficult for BLM.
Yeah, the Milio coming.
that
But
too.
they changed it the last second. I'm kind of puzzled here. I thought that the Milo would be an absolute banger of a pick here, because it's with so much CC coming in here from Black Manta, it would have been huge. But they decide not to, and a Yone.
Yeah, so I'm assuming Veigar is going to go into the bot lane, and Yone will be
Oh,
picked
yeah.
into mid. Is the call here, and I actually really like this because I think
I like it as well.
yeah. If you're BLM here, you're gonna take note of that last game. Algren is positioning in the weirdest way possible. You're maybe discussing he might not be a morning person or something like that, and you're like, all right, send that Veigar into the bot lane. We drop a cage on him, and Zera, you can jump over walls. You can't jump over that cage. And instead, they send the Yone into the mid lane, which is a really good matchup for the Xerath. Veigar is actually... It's a tough lane to play against the Xerath. You get completely outranged. You're never going to get stacks onto the Xerath. Xerath will just free poke you. It's not a situation you want. One of the strengths of Veigar is you can set up your jungler's ganks by just dropping a cage on your opponent, but if Xerath can stand in Narnia in lane, you're not going to be able to drop a cage on him at all. So send the Yone into the mid lane with a bit more kill pressure. But yeah, what do you think of this draft here?
Yeah, even with Wiggies on back with the drafting and him being 100% win rate, I feel like Black Manta have drafted themselves an amazing combo with so many curveballs here, and it almost feels like so much as this game is going to be on Los Mordoreto here he needs to dominate his lane, because bot and mid looks very, very difficult for Gucci, and of course Yasa here as well will need to do a lot of work to carry Gucci through these pretty difficult early stages.
Yeah, for Yasa, I think his Rel, he's had mixed performances. The game against Beast Team Esports was a rough look for him, but then the follow-up game, the quarterfinals against BLA, he picked the Rel and he looked really, really good on it, landing multiple man engages basically in most fights. So I think if you're Gucci, you're almost praying that the BLE Yasa Rel is going to come out instead of the BTE Yasa Rel. But for BLM, I mean, talk to me about this comp, because on my screen, I'm seeing everyone just presses R, and that's it.
Yep, absolutely. If any one of these champions from BLM find themselves a good pick, I would say everyone else can just easily follow up on it. Just the pressure from it is making games so difficult for both Zet and Zeri. So, yeah, for Gucci carries, it will be a game of just having so much attention to their screens, looking at the potential flashing edges from Black Manta, because if you get flash engaged on, everything else is going to follow on top of your head, and you're going to be surely dead. So very, very difficult matchup, I'd say, for Gucci's draft, for Gucci's carries exactly. And but I kind of like what they have done. They have drafted Gucci has drafted themselves a comfortable pick for Rebreed, a champion that he has absolutely popped off on this Manta Cup so far, and a champion that can maybe play a little bit safer for Algrin. With a dash, with an ability to jump walls. Of course, it won't work against Veigar, but for Veigar to land his engage, it's much more difficult than, for example, for something like a Jarvan or an Amumu, right? So,
Yeah.
a safer pick for him as well. Jesse on his famous Braum as well. So it's gonna be an interesting matchup. We saw Gucci perform quite well with disengage heavy comp before against Black Lotus Esports, I believe, and they did it quite well then, and they will have to repeat that success here as well.
Yeah, they will indeed. As I think for BLM, they've got a composition that fits their playstyle so well, and just as I said, it seems like BLM are a team that strives a lot in series, mainly because they've got a really strong identity and they're very good at sticking to it. I think where teams struggle in best of 3 series is if they're all around the shop, and looking to the opposite side, it looks like Gucci, they're drafting several different team compositions. This one fits more what they were playing yesterday, but that first game was very different to what we saw yesterday, or what we've seen in previous iterations. Lethality, Varus plus the Kassadin. We didn't see any of that yesterday, and they were picking it up this series. You can see the difference. Maybe it's that story of a strong best of 1 team up against a team that are proficient in best of 3 series. And how important how important in your eyes is BLM's experience and ability to play through the best of series?
Yeah, I was saying before that some of these players did not play together last SLE split. They haven't played together, of course, for quite some time. Linus subbed in for Vitagen. Elrat played for Wacky Weights. Not sure which team did Reaper play on. Only 2 of these players actually played together with Denzer and maybe, I think, during last split. And maybe he was playing top lane, not jungle. So a lot of building up for Manta through this Manta Cup. They're using the scrims and they're using the group stage as a building experience. To kind of refresh the synergy they used to have. And we're seeing the results of it coming in this game already. Taking out Gucci in game 1, they look like better and better team. Even we saw in early games, they sometimes do good, sometimes struggle. But the more they play, the better they look, and it's something that Black Manta, they're just refreshing this experience. They're channeling this championship quality squad to their full potential right now, and Gucci is having their hands full of that. And Last Moderato definitely needs to match up better than he has in last 2 games. And of course, the main carry for Gucci needs to be the wonder kid from Bulgaria. Rebreed has shined bright in this tournament, and on this champion like Zerath, if he can channel the scripting Zerath again, I think Gucci can win on the back of Rebreed's carry.
Yeah, and I think if you're Gucci, you are almost praying that your man in the mid lane shows up. Let's be honest with ourselves. He was putting in an amazing performance in that last game. He was playing so good, out of his mind, and I feel like on the Gucci camp, it's actually not praying that Rebreathe does a 1v9 performance, but you're almost praying that the rest of the group steps up. Algren, he needs to take a chill pill. He's not he's not necessarily, the 1v9 machine of this team. We saw their best performance yesterday. The strength came from the solo lanes, and then Algren pops off in the team fights. I feel like, funnily enough, it follows the footsteps of a previous AD carry that Gucci used to field in yourself. I think Algren may need to channel his inner Savage Mikus and try to get to those team fights without dropping too much in the early game. But yeah, for BLM, they seem to have identified where the weaknesses of Gucci are, because they are exploiting them in a fantastic way. I've just realized I need to switch those around. But yeah, Mikus, game 2. This is match point for BLM, and talk to me about the stakes, because they win this and they're in the finals.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see some early trading in top lane. This matchup will be a little bit different, but yeah, as you say, Gucci backs against the wall. They did not expect to be in this stage against the Black Manta squad, as Gucci came in as a favorite. But yeah, they need to pull out their clutch gene. Lots of these players struggled when it mattered the most in SLE playoffs. So a time to rewrite their history, and we see Last Moderetto. This Tom Kench is such a dominant lane champion.
Yeah, really, really dominant. And I think, wait, why did you never find Lee Sin on the ranked ladder? Played blind pick. Why is? I think he meant Soraka, because Sona doesn't have a silence, does she? Oh no, wait. I didn't get the joke.
Nah, me neither.
Wait, does Sona have a silence?
She doesn't speak, right? She only speaks to the summoner.
Oh, of course.
She's mute.
Only you can hear me, summoner. Oh, I see. I'm massively showing today. Yeah, gotcha. Alright, anyway. Alright, I'm gonna throw a similar question. Do you expect anything to happen in the early game here?
Well, I expect a lot to happen in top lane. Linus is a player that famously really likes to fight. Likes to fight a lot. And Last Moderetto, kind of similar player, but with this pick, I think Linus just cannot fight.
Yeah, funnily enough, I'm a bit of a Cassante enjoyer myself, and I actually really like the matchup into the Tahm Kench, but not until I have Sheen completed. So, for Linus, heavy trading is on the cards, but once that item is in, and until then, let's see, Tahm Kench will be the favor in that for now. But, listen, Mikus, the first game, we saw basically every single lane had some aspect of scaling. In this time around, there is one lane where there is two opposite sides of the coin, which is mid lane. Yone, once Berserker Greaves is completed, I expect this Yone to play extremely aggressive.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's another one of my two-parter about this early game is that Yone, once he will get some items in, he will be an absolute menace for Zera to handle.
Yeah, absolute menace. As see, farm numbers for PLM, I've just noticed, look pretty interesting. I think a lot of CS has been dropped in mid and bot, but yeah, you can already see Denza going in. Reboot did buffer the E, so dodging away from the Q as well. Really well played by the Xerath as Algren finding himself behind enemy lines here. As yeah, talk to me, Mikus, about the involvement of both junglers. What's their game plan here?
Yeah, I think both junglers are kind of playing a similar role here, focusing on to the early game, and Yasu's ganking already.
Rebreathe is going to set up the kill for Yasu's gank. Will pay benefits for him as he gets first blood. Beautifully played by the mid laner of Gucci once again.
Yeah, I was about to say, with strong solo lanes and kind of actually all lanes like Manta have here, I feel like the role for Yasuo is to make something happen for Chi, while the role for maybe is to kind of counter gank and to know where Yasuo is going, to scout out the potential ganking paths and to be there to match up with the gank. And first gank not good enough for maybe, as he is not there to counter it. And yeah, first blood for Gucci.
Yeah, first blood for Gucci, and much better luck than it was in the last game. Especially in the top lane, you can see Lost Moderetto. He is famous for his Tahm Kench, probably his best champion. 31 CS to 20 already, 4 minutes into the game. 5 minutes, should I say. But yeah, I think, Mikus, the thing about this Gucci team is their laners do look strong, but what's scary for Gucci is BLM have looked better in the team fight. So what do you think the look like is once level 6 comes in for these champions?
Yeah, this is not the first time we have seen this happening, right? We saw Gucci building some quite a solid laning CS minion leads during last game as well. But they were not able to convert it into a game win. So yeah, not Black Mountain not in a position where they would feel too uncomfortable on, and they are just playing for those later game fights. But this time, I have to say, they don't have the Jinx with the many shields. They have a different comp, and they will have to do something else. And
Yeah,
Lost Moderator gets ganked again.
Is gonna come in. Lost Moderator does not quite land the flash. I'm gonna have to be really critical of this gank because Jarvan literally walked over that Scuttle Crab ward. Dying to that gank is borderline illegal from Lost Moderato. You knew the Jarvan was there. Either that's tunnel vision, no one calling out that there's a Jarvan pathing towards top lane. It would be a successful gank once again onto Lost Moderato. Linus gets his first kill of the game.
Yeah, but this time Gucci is gonna get the dragon, and there's no maybe to steal it. Yeah, so they do lose something in top lane. Very unfortunate by Lost Moderato not being able to flash the Dyrus Val there, but
It's a hard flash.
yeah, still. Huh?
It's a hard flash.
It is a difficult flash to do. Yeah, but
Ooh,
Oh.
Linus gonna whiff out on the Q3. Lost Moderato is once again getting ganked here, and no flash. Not that much damage just yet from these tanks, so
he's fine.
Lost Moderato is gonna just swallow up Jarvan whole. The Q3 is gonna land this time, maybe actually being brought down to half HP. Lost Moderato looking to turn this time around. The Bulgarian sniper isn't quite landing the shots this time, as maybe it is gonna fancy footwork away, but so is Lost Moderato. He's gonna dodge away from the Q3, and
oh my god.
fortunately for the Tom Kench, he will get himself to safety, but that's good signs for BLM, as maybe fancy footwork around Rebreathe ultimate.
Yeah, this time Rebreathe not able to secure the snipe, Bulgarian sniper as Kanze calls him, and yeah, not enough in his back this time. And I was talking, I heard Gloomy talk about Rebreathe's Zerat last night after their elimination from the Manta Cup, and he said that during the laning phase, during like first 15 to 20 minutes, he feels like Rebreathe is not that good at landing these skill shots, but after that, once he gets some items, once he gets some confidence, maybe some ability haste, Rebreathe turns into an absolute scripter on this champion, and we see a little bit of that here, as not able to land them early.
Yeah, I think Rebreathe definitely a player. Oh, actually, Linus gonna beautifully predict the sidestep, gets the all-out to Lost Moderato, but the way Tom Kench works, he is gonna get to safety, but a beautiful dash over the wall from Linus. It's actually a really challenging dash to execute, so he will successfully pull that off. Lost Moderato gets solo killed once again in the top lane. We said, Mikus, beautiful performances coming out from some individuals, but not others, and they needed to step up, but unfortunately, looks like Lost Moderato once again faltering against his opponent.
Again, Lost Moderato drawing so much pressure, drawing the ganks, getting some solid farm numbers, but keeps dying actually here. And meanwhile, Reaper trying to get the wave in and won't be able to do that as he's not in the most powerful state just yet. But yeah, again, Lost Moderato gets baited in a bad situation. Is going to suffer yet another death, and I don't want to mention it that much.
Oh, here we go. Lost Moderato once again losing out on the trade and missing out on the tongue lash. It looks like Linus has his number here. I see
and two people coming.
Yeah, multiple people coming, and the Q3 is going to interrupt the dash away to safety. Lost Moderato on the weak side. Not really performing to the best of his abilities, and Rebreathe does have the right to the arcane, but it's getting dodged out once more, and a kill is going to go into the hands of Denza, and it looks like BLM are feeding onto the top laner of Good Chi, as he's dropped 3 times now. I feel like his job here is to just survive, and instead he's doing quite the opposite.
Yeah, absolutely. Not having the best game so far. And meanwhile, Gucci is looking for the dive here.
Yeah, they're looking for the dive. This is a really good call here, as Reaper is going to fall. Yasa picks up the kill credit. They have Rift Herald as well, so a lot of plates are going to go into the hands of the bot lane of Good Chi. This could be exactly what they needed to get back into the game, because top lane looking like a really sicky situation.
Yeah, but maybe it's looking for a counter play here. Elrat has ultimate ability and a beautiful jump by Algrin.
Yeah, great jump away and beautiful lockup from the jungle support of Gucci. But look who's arrived. Denza, he's going to land the Fate Sealed, but Yasa's going to root up the Yone, so I don't think Denza's going to get the kill. Algren does dodge away, but Rebreathe is here. He's arrived into the fight. Maybe one auto attack is going to root him up. Last hit is going to get the kill. Rebreathe gets the kill around that. Denza going to flash forward. Elrad does not have the ultimate. I believe he used it in the top lane, but Rebreathe's going to land another stun. And he's going to get a double kill. Baby Cage onto Rebreathe, and he's going to get finished off by Reaper. So, a massive trade in kills, but you have to feel with Algren surviving that and with the summoner spells being used, I don't know who I would favor in the back of this exchange. But with BLM,
I have to say,
yeah, BLM, I think you're very happy with this.
I would disagree with you. I think Gucci kind of won that. Algren actually sprinted right towards the mid lane, and he's able to push out the wave.
Yeah,
well, so I think Gucci kind of winning out the gold trade.
Denza.
Oh.
Yeah, teleport in, and just as you said, a little bit of a caster curse as and Denza will be able to benefit of Algren overextending in the mid lane. Yes, he did get the top. Another kill over to the Yone. We said how scary this Yone will be once those items come in. 3 and 2 already.
3 and 2 indeed, and we see that the chaos that has been channeled here by Black Manta has resulted them also in a very good position to secure this dragon, and that's exactly what they need in this early game. Yep. Start to stack these drakes. I think Gucci will have a little bit of lots of problems in approaching these dragon setups due to Black Manta's amount of their CC and their amount of their ultimate abilities. So yeah, Gucci being placed in a difficult position so far. They will need a lot of outplays by their star players to kind of secure this. But I have to say, Rebreathe also putting himself in a good position.
Yeah, Rebreathe is in a great position. Unfortunately for Denza, yes, you are very strong in the Yone, but your opponent is unfortunately stronger. So one of those weird occasions that doesn't happen too often where both mid laners are ahead of the curve, but Denza going for an aggressive trade, and you can see that, actually, Rebreathe actually not doing too bad against these Yone aggression. But yeah, how do you feel the mid game is going to go here, Mikas?
Yeah, that's the key question. Can Gucci avoid the massive engages from them? Rebreathe here does not have flash, and this will be a difficult one.
Yeah, I do believe this Earth is about to give a big shutdown. It will go into the hands of Denza as he's caught out 1 versus 3. The roam in. Oh, actually, Elrad didn't even get kill credit. Didn't have to use anything as it was just a gank from maybe. As a response, Algren will get another plate by himself. So, tiny victory for him. But, what did I say in draft? Algren has been overstepping consistently over the course of this series. And he's found himself caught once again. Kill credit over to Elrad. And it just seems like a repeat of the first game.
Yeah, unfortunate one. Algren again tries to do a little bit too much. Wants to go for another plate, and Lost Moderetto.
Look, Lost Moderetto is getting ganked here in the top lane. Q3 is going to land. Health regen is coming in, but Linus does go into a killing spree. And Mikas is looking like Gucci are making their steps away from the tournament. We are hard stuck in the semi-finals of the Mats Cup. I don't think Gucci have that many options left in this game.
Well, it's quite early to claim that. Yes, Black Manta does have the goal lead right now, but Gucci is still having quite a solid farm numbers onto their mid laner and onto their AD carry as well. So if they can find themselves maybe little bit breaks, maybe kind of look to avoid some of these plays, some of these engages by Black Manta, play a little bit more safer, talk to each other about where the opposite squad is on the map. I think they still have the opportunity to win, but Black Manta definitely putting themselves in a great position to sweep Gucci. How crazy is that?
That would be an incredible story for BLM. And just as I said, you take that first game off, suddenly you build yourself momentum, you build yourself confidence. And take a look at Gucci. They just look a little bit lost, and not necessarily Yasa and Rebreathe. I think both of them are having great performances in both games. But for the side of top and bot lane, it's a terrible situation. Algren has died in the exact same fashion both games multiple times now. Same as Lost Moderetto. When they're in a position where it's like, your mid laner's fed, he's going to carry the game. all you need to do is just chillax. Don't make a mistake. Yet they are the ones making the mistakes. They're the one being the victims of their own errors.
Yep. And they definitely need to turn themselves around in this series. I think it's going to be very, very close. And another thing that is very close is the bot lane turret dying, actually. So is the bot lane turret for Gucci, and Black Manta will win this trade, as well as Gucci goes to focus out the second Herald, which is a trade, if anything, but yeah, another small win for Black Manta. And these small wins are starting to stack. They are having themselves almost a 2k gold lead, and that's something that they almost never have against these Gucci squads.
Yeah.
And their strength is the mid to late game. This time they are doing pretty good in the early game, and that spells trouble for Gucci.
Yeah, ahead in the early game, and look what this means. It does mean easy catches in the enemy jungle. Jesse gonna get caught out.
as well.
Yasser, you need to let him jump to you. I don't think Yasser is aware of that situation. Curse of the Sad Mummy is gonna get dropped. Rebreathe doing some decent return damage, but 5 members strong. It does mean BLM does get the catch here, and returning to the mid lane. I feel like another beautiful play coming out from BLM, playing as a unit. This is their strength as a team. They seem to be catching Gucci off guard. Another catch, meaning that they will open themselves up a potential dragon. I do believe Jesse is respawning in time for this. Lost Minaretta does have teleport, so might be a tricky situation. They send Denza to top, as he has teleport available, as dragon is going to spawn. Algon in mid lane. This, I see teleport happening in the bot lane, so this will be a contest. Do imagine a fight will break out. Curse of the Sad Mummy isn't available for Elrat here, as the right to the arcane is getting dropped. Reaper is the target. 2 hits on him so far, but Yasser with a massive engage. Linus is going to go with the all-out. Algren is the target, and he's going to get eaten up by Lost Minaretta. This could be the fight for Gucci. Denza brought down to low HP. That's a 3-man knockup from him. Reaper is going to land the final Q to finish off the Yone. Maybe he's going to be the next to follow. Algren now fighting Elrat, kiting when he can, and Reaper's going to be the next on the target. Lost Minaretta in now the back line. This is exactly what Gucci needed, and as Kanza said in Twitch chat, thank fuck for Rebreathe, because he has carried this fight once again, and Gucci, they will get themselves this Infernal Dragon.
I cannot believe Gucci actually are managing to pull out this fight. They were in such a difficult position against such a huge Drake fighting comp, but yeah, they are the ones to have 5 members from the beginning of the team fight, and for 1 second it looked terrible for Chi, as I think Algren got caught again, but a huge I'm not sure how is it called, Devour from Lost Minaretta saves him, and actually Algren does not die for the whole fight, and Rebreathe is able to channel so many long range, so many AoE abilities, and even auto attacks. I felt like I saw him throw like 8 auto attacks in that fight.
Yeah, really big fight for Gucci. Let's commend the man of the hour, Yasser. 5-man Rel ultimate with the engage to kick off the fight. Oh, actually, Elrat gonna find a catch onto Rebreathe, but look who's here. Jesse trying to play defense. He's gonna block away a lot of damage from the Veigar, and Rebreathe goes onto a killing spree. Great play from the support of Gucci, as Jesse arrives just in time. Right place, right time, and that's why he's such a respected support. Reaper will go down.
Yeah, Reaper finds himself killed again, and I have to say, so far the story of this series has been the curse of the good early game. Both teams, after good early game, kind of finding themselves in this mid game, starting to throw so much. And right now, Gucci is the one with the dragon lead, and Black Manta still are in a pretty good position with the comp that they have. They still can jump onto Algren and can jump on Rebreathe with the great ultimates that they have, but they definitely have thrown away what they built for first 15 minutes, I believe.
Yeah, they have indeed, and what with Rift Herald spawned in the top lane, Rebreathe not having teleport available, but I think Gucci are going to feel confident to push this through. They might not have their superstar mid laner here, but he's going to channel the right to the arcane to try and clear the mid wave, stop the push of BLM. Instead, I think Gucci, BLM haven't sent anyone to defend. This is going to get a second charge onto the turret, and just a reminder, this turret gives so much gold.
They need to be careful. They don't have teleport.
Elrat's going to land a Q. One more bandage toss is available for him. Curse of the Sad Mummy is also up. The flank, they had the good insight, foresight that a flank was on the horizon. Rebreathe were able to catch the wave in the mid, so they will be safe, and a charge into that top lane. So decent push there for Gucci.
Yeah, overall, I would say a small victory for Gucci, as it is a trade for 1-for-1 for the first turrets in top lane and mid lane. Yeah, they do get a charge off as well, but I think more importantly, the fact that Black Manta did not react in time on the play. I feel like if they knew that Ribri does not have the teleport there, I think they could have pulled the trigger a bit faster and find themselves a 5v4 teamfight. But yeah, Gucci getting out there with a small victory, with a little bit of a turret damage.
Yeah, definitely a small victory, but when they all add up, it will mean something, because one thing I've noticed, Mick, is Lost Midoriyato picked himself up a kill. It has been 3 games straight, ladies and gentlemen, and he's finally got himself on the board. This is a monumentous occasion. Talk about... No, I won't go any further with that meme. But congrats to him. First kill in 3 games, and, well, yeah, he feels confident to go aggressive onto Linus. We have seen what this has done in the early parts of the lane, but I've noticed that he is starting to win out on the trades here.
Yeah, he is, and I think in this matchup, Lost Mordredo, if in like a similar position in items and gold, I think this Tom Kench pick is so hard to challenge in any 1v1s, because he's just so beefy. He deals so much damage, and Lost Mordredo is an absolute expert on this champion. But I don't think it will be a 1v1 game for him this time. I don't think he necessarily needs to split push as much as he has done in the past 3 games. I think he will often, the main task for him will be to save one of his carries from getting caught, whoever is getting focused, and that Devour ability will be the key thing for him in these team fights.
Yeah, and something I just read in Twitch chat, Sench, thanks, big shout out to you for pointing this out, but I've noticed this Veigar just really isn't outputting that much damage. I'm scratching my head as to why, because Veigar is a strong champion. And take a look at his build. Everfrost into Zhonya's. This is what a lot of people label as the poverty mage setup here. You're getting about, let's click on the unit. He's got about 400 AP with 2.5 items. That's a very low number when you consider what you could be having. I'm grateful that he has a needlessly large rod. Hopefully that is a Rabadon's death cap, because I know a lot of players that would run Cosmic Drive here, and it makes me want to slap them in the face, as actually a fight might be breaking out here. Lost Midoriyato is going to do so much damage right to the arcane. It's going to find Denza. This time around, flashes away from the last shot, and Lost Midoriyato beautifully played as he knocks up Elrat and finds a tongue lash onto the Yone, and instead now it's a 1 versus 4. The Tom Kench is going to get deleted, but Gucci, they do have priority onto the dragon here, so they will be happy with that. Drake,
their main damage source is dead. Denza is dead.
Denza is gone, and a lot of this is on Reaper, but as I said, his build just doesn't have that much damage in it, and in comparison to Reaper, look at his build. He's got so much more damage than Veigar does, and BLM understanding that my Veigar is running some I'm just trying to think of a country struggling. I'll use my own, some Malaysian economy build here.
Oh no.
Oh gosh. Running some Malaysian economy build. Not that much damage coming out from the Veigar just yet. Gonna have to have a lot of reliance on stacking Qs or that upcoming Rabadon's death cap before this Veigar can do much in the fights. But yeah, tough situation.
Yeah, we see that. We were talking about Lost Mordredo will need to save his carries, but this time he's like, wait a minute, nobody's jumping on my carries right now. I can just jump on their carries, basically almost assassinating Denzer. Then Rebreathe joins up with his artillery, and once Denzer goes down, yeah, the champion with all of the damage so far on the Black Mantis comp is dead, and there's so much such a safe team fight for Algren and Rebreathe here to approach, and yeah, it's basically unplayable after that for Black Manta, and Gucci just turning things around. You were saying that they don't have a lot of options left in the game. How about this? Just start to play like a team, and beautifully done so far from Gucci. But they do need to close this one out because this Black Manta squad with all of these ultimates that they have is always dangerous.
Yeah, always dangerous indeed. And well, the scary thing for Gucci is, yes, the most recent phases of play have gone well for you, but That Rabadon's death cap is about 1,000 gold until completion. And once Veigar does get that, that's where Veigar starts doing damage. The scary thing is these fights, there's been big ultimates landing, but Veigar hasn't had the damage yet. You've gone Everfrost Zhonya's. Can't emphasize this enough. You don't have damage. But with this death cap getting completed on a Veigar as well, you're gonna, push your AP ratios up even more. This Veigar is gonna start one-shotting people once that gets in. So Gucci, as weird as it is, they are on a bit of a pseudo timer. Obviously, they have the likes of Xerath and Zeri that scale pretty well as well.
Yeah, and I want to put your eyes on one thing. If you look at Los Mordoreto's build, it's like full armor. It's fully against the Jarvan, Yone, and I'm not even sure what kind of damage does Cassandra deal. I think true damage, but once exactly how you say, once Veigar gets his Rabadon's death camp, he can almost one-shot even the tankiest members of Gucci, but Gucci is pulling the Baron trigger.
Yeah, pulling the trigger, and you can see they've got Rebreathe landing so much poke here. So the front line of BLM are already taken down to low HP.
Oh,
and actually, Denza's just getting solo kill on the side. How is this happening? Los Modoretto, he's kind of miss out on the tongue lash. Spoiler alert, Yone can't go through walls, so it was interesting aim direction on that. But you can see Elrat almost half HP already. You can imagine that was off the back of Rebreathe's poke, so Denza used the teleport as well. No teleport.
Yeah, I think it was cancelled.
Yeah.
I think it was cancelled by Los Mordoreto's.
Yeah, I think it was indeed. So they have to send Linus as Cassante to deal with the Tahm Kench split push, which, look how strong Linus is. You want Linus with the team.
Yeah, exactly. And Linus himself is not necessarily going to kill Los Mordereto here, as this Tahm Kench is in a dominating sideline presence here. And meanwhile, Los Mordereto does have the TP himself. Rebreathe has the TP. So Gucci having the macro advantage right now. Can they make something happen with it? I think they can just repeat the same play that they did and just keep focusing on to the Baron. Or there's not a better soul that they could have with Rebreathe playing so well. If he gets that Infernal Soul, this Xerath is going to absolutely chunk whoever he's touching.
Yeah, Rebreathe's looking like he's putting up an MVP performance here in this series. The game's not over yet, but look at the dragon spawning. If Xerath gets his hands on an Infernal Dragon, 1Q, it's going to do so much damage to BLM. They understand the assignment. You cannot give this up, but this is a critical team fight. You win this objective fight, you get yourself the Baron buff as well, so see BLM posturing. Oh my Jesus Christ. And Righty the Arcane's actually just going to get blocked here. Reaper dodging away from a lot. Rebreathe having to flash away from the Yone engage. And that's a great flash from Rebreathe, which means the engage of BLM is gone. No ultimates. Look, Yone ultimate is down. Mumu ultimate is down. There's only Jarvan, Veigar, and Cassante up. And the dragon is just about to spawn. Reaper as well is forced to recall to base here. He does have teleport available, but look at the ultimates that are not available for BLM. Elrat here, a movement without ult is a sitting duck, and look at what Rebreathe has to do. He is just landing Q after Q. The W on top of Linus, he's already half HP. Elrat's below half HP. They're going to try and find the catch up to Rebreathe, but the dragon is already secured, and a beautiful stasis coming up from Rebreathe. They're going to keep him alive for now, and he's doing so much damage. The superstar mid laner of Gucci is doing the work, and the rest of the team is following up with the damage. Algren is going to get a kill for himself, and so is Yasa, and it looks like Gucci win out the fight, and it's all off the back of Rebreathe outplaying with the flash on the engage.
Difficult situation for Black Manta there. With the big key teamfight ultimates down, they are doomed if they do, or doomed if they don't, because if they give up this soul, it's such a difficult position to be in, so they just decide to go for it. And again, Rebreathe lands a beautiful stun on the flash position by Linus here. He's having himself an incredible tournament here, and just like that, Gucci winning a critical teamfight, not getting only the soul, but also the Baron, and Black Manta is having their backs against the wall in this game too. Gucci is really looking forward to get this to the Silver Scrapes.
They are in... Well, not Silver Scrapes. See, that's for best of fives.
Oh, okay.
Wait, is
it? We can put the Silver Scrapes remix,
I'll do it anyway. Fuck the rules. Kassadin lost to Veigar, so nothing makes sense anymore. So, nah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, you I have to admit here, Rebreathe really performing so well. And it looks like he's putting in such a good performance, making a statement as a mid laner for himself here. But it is not over just yet. I've just realized Reaper has completed that Rabadon's death cap. Might be now time for Veigar to start pumping out some of that much desired damage.
Yeah, absolutely. But Gucci right now in a very good position. But yeah, exactly. If this Veigar can do a
Look
lot
at this
here,
duel
but
here. Yeah, Linus
we're
is going to
seeing
use
a
the
1v1.
all out, but look at the damage that the Infernal Soul is providing for Lost Moderetto. It might be revenge time as Lost Moderetto will finally get the solo kill onto Linus, as Jesse now jumping over with the Blast Cone, forcing the flash out of Reaper, so that Veigar doesn't have the defensive summoner spell that he needs. Yasa stepping forward. We haven't pointed out. Yasa, look at the farm lead he has on maybe on the clear. Actually, only 2 members here. Jesse is taking up a lot of the damage here. Look at the DPS coming up from Rebreathe and Algren. Oh my god, the Rise of the Arcane is going to find his target. Algren goes onto a killing spree. Rebreathe goes unstoppable. A double kill coming in for the Zeri. And it looks like Chi are going to bite back in this game.
Yep, it looks pretty good. Gucci finding themselves the punish, and finally they are able to. I think they're able to close this one out. I don't think Lil Ratty is going to save it alone, but he's gonna try. He's a brave Amumu. Look at him. Look at him go.
You can see El
no, he has ult, yeah.
Yeah, does have ultimate, but unfortunately, I don't think there's anything he can do. Oh my god, he lands the big hit! But the Nexus turret is just too low, so I do... Oh, hold on a minute. They get the... And the game is over. Game 2 will be going over to the side. Sorry, I was just messing around. I'm bored. Game 2 will go over to Good Chi and Mikis. Much better game coming out from the Manta Cup squad of Good Chi this time around. And let's emphasize one point here: 100% win rate for Wiggies still remains.
Yeah, absolutely, and Gucci able to tie up the series. It looked so bad in the early game, but later on they managed to get this one out, and yeah, well done by Gucci boys. And game 3 Gucci against Black Manta in the Manta Cup semifinals for the finals. 1 game left. I mean, let's get it.
Let's get it indeed, and you couldn't write any other different story. Now, Mikis, I'm going to throw a question over to you because we might have a different opinion on this one for once. Who is your MVP of the series? Actually, I might change my answer. I just seen the damage charts and I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe no, you know what? I'm going to stick with my answer. Who is your MVP of this game?
I mean, there's a guy having himself an absolutely stellar tournament. Yeah, Rebreathe is having himself a beautiful game. Of course, it was kind of set up by Yasa here, who is having a great series as well. Same goes for the Jesse here on the Brawl. And I'm so happy to see the Lost Murderetto turning it around. Similar thing for Algren. We kept saying that Algren gets caught again and again. But after that last time in the bot lane, I think he's just stopped doing it. He focused up, he locked in, and right now it's looking so much better. But Rebreathe, this is one of the most impressive tournaments so far that I've ever seen a player individually have.
Yeah, really big game coming out of Rebreathe. And yeah, I was about to say Yasa is going to be my MVP for landing that 5-man rel engage, but then I looked at the damage charts and I saw 30k damage coming out of Rebreathe, and no one else was close. He dealt the most damage by a country mile. When you see those numbers, you're almost like, you know what, I kind of have to give it to him. Rebreathe really, honestly, in my eyes, when we picked him up, I never saw him as a 1v9 player. You know, he was a control mage player, or like not a control mage player, but he was evolving into a mage player. He came as an assassin player. He was evolving to a mage player, and he was showing up really good in some games, not so much in others. But he never 1v9'd games in the SLE. Coming here to the Manta Cup, with the level is arguably similar / better than the SLE. There are some high master players competing in this tournament, such as the jungler of Beast's team esports. I think Denza, Diamond 1, Linus, Diamond 1, and Elrap, previously Masters before. Rebreathe He is 1v9ing these games. I will hands down say that confidently. Rebreathe is putting in 1v9 performances.
Yeah, and with that, I think we can go in a bit of a break because Game 3 is going to be an absolute banger.
Yes, don't go anywhere. Game 3 coming soon. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to our coverage of the BLM versus Gucci series. It is 1-1, and Mikas, two very different games, I feel like, in terms of results. But in terms of the way both teams won, I feel like they were kind of the same thing.
Yeah, teams just swapping around scenarios and trading the good early games. This time it is Black Manta who had a great early game, but Gucci able to gather themselves, rally up around their star mid laner and getting that win here and. Tying up it 1-1, and I don't want to bash you or anything, but yeah, you said that it's such a difficult position for Gucci to be in, and you don't see a lot of options to for them to kind of come back into this game. But I feel like they heard that it was the push that the boys were needed, and they really came to their senses after that and made so little to no mistakes and. Incredible team fighting and incredibly intelligent kind of decision making around these fights and when they can and cannot fight against a very ultimate reliant comp as Black Manta had.
Yeah, it did seem like they were just slowly building momentum into this series because, yeah, you were right. As I said, options are running out, options are running low. I don't see an angle here. Out of nowhere, Yasser lands a 5-man rel engage. I am so sorry. I apologize for ever doubting your abilities, Mr. Man in the jungle. You know, he showed that engage. It showed why he was such a respected player in the SLE. Known as 3 Angry Inches, better known as Yasser nowadays. But yeah, big game. And we talked about what was going wrong for Gucci as draft has kicked off. But I'll continue my point. What was going wrong for Gucci was that, their carries were still definitely performing. Yasser had a great game 1, great game 2. Yeah, he didn't smite that first objective well, but the rest of the game, I thought he did pretty well. Second game, fantastic game. Same with Rebreathe. 1v9 performances. There was some question marks on the others, but halfway through that game, out of nowhere, Jesse saved Rebreathe in the mid lane when he was getting caught by Veigar. Algren and Los Moneto just came into their own midway through that game too. So yeah, Mikas, it looks like BLM will take the route away from Yasser.
Yeah, and we see just I love to see the draft evolution through the series. We saw game 1, Black Manta taking out these same 3 bands and Gucci giving over the Ivern, and this time in game 2, Black Manta were banning the Ivern themselves and gave the Zerat. And adaptations for game 3. Gucci taking out the Ivern, Black Manta taking off the Zerat, and Gucci's star mid laner is going to pilot the explorer, the scientist of the arcade. What's the city? Piltover. Yeah, the scientist of Piltover or whatever.
Yeah, I like it, digging into your knowledge of Arcane, the lore of League of Legends. But yeah, Rebreathe's Victor, he played this a lot in the SLE. He dropped a 21 kill game, I believe it was against Black Lotus. Hasn't picked it up in the Manta Cup just yet, but he will have his debut on this champion here. It's Denza locks in that infamous Orianna. I say infamous because for many people, they hate this champion. It is so powerful in a competitive sense. Paired up with the Rel, going to be extremely lethal. I have to say, with Gucci, Rel very likely going to the hands of Yasser as opposed to going into the hands of Jesse. But BLM a different story with the Rel because Elrat is a big role player himself.
Absolutely, Elrat showing up. After again talking to some people in the community, lots of players don't understand why Black Manta keep putting Elrat on these enchanters. They really think that Elrat is a player that is a very proactive and finds him when his team and incredible engages. And we saw him on an engaged heavy champion last game on Momo, maybe a little bit less conventional support pick, but I'd say it didn't look as good as I've seen Elrat play, and the enchanters have been looking better for him so far. But this time most likely on the rail, but I can see it going in maybe Sand as well. I think Gucci still need to take out champions like Milo here.
Yeah. Well, two opposite sides of the coin for the support matchup here. As yeah, I have to agree with you. And as someone who's duo queued with Elrat a lot, every time I saw him lock in Alistair, the smile on my face versus every time I saw him lock in like Karma or something, very different. You know, obviously, not saying he's bad at enchanters. It's just when he picks his comfort engages, he is a level above when he is on the enchanters. And on the opposite side, I feel like Jesse is a complete flip of what Elrat is. Of when he gets his hands on these defensive and protective supports like the Braum, like the Lulu Renata, he's so good. He's one of the best out there that you can get. And similarly, he's not bad. He's shown pedigree on the likes of Rakan, on the likes of Rel, but he's just a level above on the protective supports versus the aggressive ones.
Yeah, absolutely. But when I think about Elrat in Black Manta, he often plays the role of being like the protective one. And as much as I agree, and I have dueled with the guy quite a lot in the past as well, and his engage abilities are incredible. I do think that in this Black Manta squads, he often plays a different role. And meanwhile, Gucci kind of have drafted themselves 4, or actually 3 champions that these players have really lots of comfort on and have looked incredible on during this Manta Cup. But the only champion that is kind of a new for them here during this tournament is the Victor. And yes, we have seen a lot of Victor by Rebreed in SLE.
Yep. Big comfort picks all across the board for Gucci. And I want to say I really like the Xayah pick here because you can imagine Rel champion that. I mean, Rel literally has one button, which is the go button. You jump in, you land a big engage, and there's no better AD carry to play against engages than the Xayah. Look at the composition of Gucci. They're looking to kite back, and Dr. Mundo. Ooh, I'm not sure if this is a counter pick because in my eyes, I think this champion is absolutely useless. But I think against the likes of Tom Kent, you can almost enter some sort of Heartsteel stacking competition. Those two tanks will be so powerful if they are able to get numbers on that Heartsteel. But other than that, what do you think Mundo provides? Because, as I said, I'm not a big fan of this champion.
Well, we have seen Linus whip out the Mundo multiple times in SLE in some of these games, and damn, it is going to be such a healing-heavy comp here. Not even sure if there's something from Gucci that I can pick to kind of deal with this healing. And there is no better answer to healing than that one. The brand. Ailey's locked in, and is it a bingo?
That might
There
be a
it is,
bingo.
Rain D.
Yeah, Rain D. Congratulations, Rain D. You are the winner of the giveaway. Make sure to DM Kanza. He will be the one to allocate that that prize to you. Congratulations, Rain D, for winning. Yeah. Mika's kind of cheated.
To be fair,
you cheated. You're not supposed to say it.
Oh, I think he wrote it before I said it actually.
Yeah. That was a little. That was fun. That was fun. Good job.
Yeah, but I think it was even a delayed bingo because with Gucci winning game 2 and with Los Mordreto getting the solo kill and with Jesse getting Ignite kill, I think it was earlier bingo, to be fair.
Yeah, it wasn't earlier bingo, but I guess with Yasa locking in the brand, that 100% secures it. And Rain D, congratulations to you. That was a little fun thing that we're doing here. We might do that in the future because this was pretty cool. But yeah, I thought Chi Win was a series. Yeah, I meant it as a series, but I guess I didn't clarify that, so I'll let it pass. We don't have terms and conditions. This isn't Fnatic or anything, so couldn't be bothered. Anyway, so we progress with the game, and draft's completed now. Brand locked in for Yasa. We haven't talked about it as we were too busy congratulating Rain D on the victory for his prize. Just to clarify, that is Apple Music and Apple TV for free for a couple months. So enjoy that. And a lot of cool series there. Why am I marketing Apple products? Like, what am I doing? Anyway,
yeah. Gucci is sponsored by Apple.
No. We would never. Android all the way. No. Yeah. Talk to me about this brand pick because I'm taking a look at Soraka, Jinx, Orianna. I feel like a brand can get a combo off. They just explode.
Yeah, that's true. And it's also a champion very well fitted to build anti-healing. I think his AoE damage will apply to basically everyone on
on the Black Manta squad. So yeah, that when you're facing a lot of healing, there's two ways to approach it. You either should pick a champion that has like an anti-heal built into it, or you pick something that can spread the anti-healing all over the place. Like a popular combination for AD carries are sometimes the anti-heal plus Rune and Hurricane, applying it to everyone. But yeah, this time Gucci kind of whipping out the brand, and I really like it. It's also a large percentage-based damage champion, which will go well against the Rel and against the Mundo and against the Soraka healing. So Gucci finding themselves lots of answers this time in the draft. It looked like Black Manta heavily won the draft last time, but this time Gucci kind of evening it out, and I would even favor them a little bit. But yeah, how about you, Adrian?
Yeah, I think for Gucci, Brandon's a perfect champion here because let's not forget Dr. Mundo, a champion who's got a passive where you block the first part of CC, but Brandon's a champion that benefits of building Rylai's and, as you said, heal reduction. So Dr. Mundo slows is one of his worst nightmares because you just can't move, and there's a reason why Singed is a big counter to Dr. Mundo. Don't know why I pulled out the most niche counter pick option I could have said, but yeah, of all champions, I said Singed. Yeah, Singed is one of the picks into Dr. Mundo. So yeah, it's a really tough situation, but based off draft alone, who do you think you give your win over to?
Yeah, as I said, I think Gucci have found themselves some answers in the draft. I think I like the AoE abilities coming in later stages in the draft, and of course Renata has looking amazing in the hands of Jessia here, champion that kind of does pretty well. If she is able to hit the Jinx with her ultimate, I think Jinx can wipe her own team here. And yeah, that being said, definitely Black Manta have drafted themselves quite a well synergized team comp as well. No engage on Elrat here this time, so he will pick out his actually kind of well-known Sorak. I think it's a champion that Elrat has in his pocket, and yeah, I think we're set up for a very evenly matched, another instant classic in Game 3.
Yeah, we do have an instant classic, and I see a message in the Twitch chat. Left side never needs to engage until the right side, and they can't play. I actually think that is a decent shout out. If you look at like what Black Manta's draft needs to do, they need to hit that late game power spike, and the way they've played this series, they've played it so passively. They've just waited for Gucci to make a move, and then they punish Gucci when they make a mistake. And you know, the back and forth of these two teams is that you have one side who are consistently making the aggressive plays, and the other side making the passive plays, the reactive ones. Funnily enough, in the previous game when BLM was ahead of the ball in terms of the gold lead, that's where they started to make the aggressive plays, and that's when Gucci were like, what are they doing? You know, just kill them. And then Yasuo was able to find big engagers. So I actually really like that point made by the individual in the Twitch chat, because I agree. BLM, they have a draft here where they can slowly scale up into the late game. I think the concern, one thing that they do have to look out for is Yasuo has been, not necessarily diffing maybe, but in terms of clearing and farming the camps, I think both games he's definitely been ahead of the curve against maybe here. Last game he was 50 CS up, and bear in mind that was a Rel against a Jarvan. Not too natural for a Rel to be that far ahead of the clear. So yeah. We'll have to see. I think both junglers will be key to see how this game turns out.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah,
Rel has been pretty good champion in this series. So has Jinx. So lots of trades here, and I think Tom Kench definitely will dominate again the sideline matchup against Dr. Mundo. I'm not even sure if Linus has anything in his toolkit to match against this oppressive laning champion. I think only champions like maybe, I don't know, Vayne maybe can deal with the Tom Kench in lane. I think it's such a bully, and yeah, very unfun to play against it. For Linus, potentially his last game in the Black Manta jersey, but that's yet to be seen. As if they win, actually no, never mind. They still, whoever loses wins, plays for third place. So I'm speaking out of turn.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Well, the thing is here is if you lose this semi-final game, you're not necessarily knocked out, but you do not have any more progression to the grand finals, as you will have to play that third place series, which of course we played in that. It's one of those. I remember when we did it, right? We were like, fuck this, we don't care. And then halfway through the game, we were like, I mean, I guess we do. We started playing seriously, and we got that third place, and it felt nice. So there is something to play for if you do get knocked out here. But yeah, Mikas, talk to me, because I feel like this game, there's so much story, there's so much history behind this this series, because this could be finally the time. BLM have already rewritten the history books and taken a game off the storied matchup of Good Chi. This could be their time to take a series off Good Chi. As we are straight into the game.
Yeah, big game right here. Both teams on as high as a pressure as it gets, really. And yeah, let's see what they can do. I wanted to ask you. You definitely have more game knowledge definitely right now than I have. Is it normal for Rail to start potionless?
I don't know, actually.
I know you're an expert in brand jungle, but have you seen have you seen this Rail stuff? Maybe it is normal. I don't know. It's not like a big deal.
It might be, because the thing about Royal Jungle, the clear is so fast. You do so much damage to the camps with the Q. So I can completely understand that not going for the health potion, just to save that extra bit of gold and plate an item 50 gold earlier. It's not that much, but when you consider the fact that in the early game, let's say you farm up 250 gold, if you save that extra 50 gold on a health potion, that's a boots of speed that you have completed. I don't know if he's run the magical footwear, but yeah, no, there is some value to not going for the health pot, and your clear is pretty fine. You know, having said that, I see maybe he's half HP, so maybe I was wrong. But yeah, trade halfling early in the top lane. Do you know much about this matchup, Nikas? Because is this a wet noodle fight situation?
I think there is no wet noodle fighting when you have Tom Kench on one side. I think this champion can always get himself kills in the laning phase, and I think Linus has kind of done what you said in the draft. I think his thinking with this pick is, okay, if he's gonna pick Tom Kench, I cannot pick any kind of carry type of champions, and I might as well just pick Mundo and try to trade the Heartsteel and the grasp of undying stacks and be just as tanky as he is here. And so far, it's working out very well for him.
Yeah, working out very well for him indeed. Lost Moretto on the Tom Kench. He knows this champion in and out. It is one of his mains. So you can imagine, I don't think he will be, I don't want to say too concerned, but he's going to be, oh my god, how great route. He's going to be confident in this matchup, despite being low HP. I feel like these two tanks, you have so much base health regen that even if your health bar looks slow, I mean, if you know what you're doing, I feel like it's not actually that low. So, yeah, but, I mean, bot lane matchup, you're the AD carry here. What's Jinx into Xayah like? Because early game wave clear from Xayah is unmatched.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But the Jinx is not having that much of a trouble into the wave clear of Xayah. I think Jinx has one of champions that can farm under turret quite respectfully, and here we see Reaper also like blocking the minions, and so they don't attack the minion too fast. And he can clear it. Good farming mechanics there by the AD carry of Black Manta.
Oh my god!
Maybe looks for a kill.
Yeah, maybe
actually
looks for a kill. Rebreathe having to use the flash. Good sidestep initially from Rebreathe, but unfortunately he did walk back into the Rel W, get stunned up. The Victor now flashless. I know what it's like to play Victor without a flash. You are basically a sitting duck in the mid lane. So great play already from maybe 4 minutes into the game, blowing the flash of Victor.
Yeah, and I didn't expect him to go for that play, actually. Once he entered the lane, I thought that Victor is too deep in it for him to actually go, reliably go for this play. But maybe yet another good early game, and he will have a good angle for gank here as well.
Yep.
Hex Flash.
He does indeed. He will Hex Flash over the wall. Linus landing a briefcase, but being brought down to low HP himself. Lost Moretto, let's see if he can take this one. Unfortunately, he can't. Maybe all over the map. 2 successful ganks already. First blood for Linus.
Yeah, and we see questionable pings onto the wall because Las Mordredo thought that he's so safe here with the vision being planted in the river. But yeah, a great presence of mind by Black Manta jungler here to use the Hex Flash to avoid the vision where he knew that it is, and very well done by the early game jungler for Black Manta.
Yeah, really well done from BLM. I'm going to walk away from the traps, but I wanted to talk about a point here, Mikas, because I feel like I've noticed something that I seem to have forgotten, not having watched Black Manta in a while, but when you lane against Linus, you're not actually laning against Linus. You are basically laning against the entire BLM roster, aren't you? Denza and maybe always make movements up towards their man in the top lane. It doesn't matter what champion he's picking. You could be looking at a tank versus tank matchup. BLM always play for Linus. And it seems like Los Moderato has been the victim of that. And, you know, I think we had a teammate, Captain, who played against this really well. Can you talk to me and the broadcast about what the strategy is to have to... You're essentially laning against an entire roster.
Yeah, and it's so hard to play against him as well because it's not that you can like expect someone to be there whenever Linus plays aggressively. Linus plays aggressively all the time. He plays like his jungler is there all the time. So it's never like clear if he's setting up for a gank or if he's just randomly trading or is he just trying to skill check you. So yeah, it's such a question, and the thing you must do, you definitely need to pick a champion that you know that you can be useful during the game, even if you get set behind by the whole of an enemy team. And after that, you need to kind of keep focused, not get tilted by the attention that this Black Manta top laner is receiving from his team, and just think about yourself as a resource sponge for Black Manta, knowing that you're kind of doing the right thing by absorbing these resources and maybe not dying, losing by a little bit, and that's the way you win against this Black Manta squad.
Yeah, definitely a really good take. I do have to agree. Playing against this BLM squad, it's all about neutralizing their pressure in the top lane, and I think a big part of it is trying your best to win on the other side of the map. And take a look at the lead that Linus does. I mean, actually, farm-wise, he's so far behind. But I was going to talk about the jungle lead that Yasa has built up. A level up onto maybe. Maybe has ganked twice, so big reasoning for that. But he has also just been faster on the clear. You have to say, yeah, I was just about to point that out. Yasa has started to enter that top lane bush. Now Los Moderato will go forward. Does get the knock-up off, so no CC shield for Linus. Gets eaten up by Los Moderato. Los Moderato is going to get the shield off, but here comes maybe Super Mega Death Rocket. Going to land right on top of the brand and maybe going to play defense on his top lane. Just as I said, there's always someone waiting around for Linus to be safe. And Yasa going to put his attention now to the rel. Maybe we'll just be able to run away to safety. So both top laners getting their jungler to bail them out of sticky situations. Just a trade of summoner spells, I believe, as both top laners now do not have their flash.
Yeah, but a bit of a synergy there from the Revel Lynx's top side here, as we saw them. I think Yasa was setting up a stun with the Q on the brand, but Las Mordreto eats him out of it just at the worst possible moment. So it could have been better for Chi, but still, rather that than losing than dying on Linus. And yeah, I think Chi will be fine with it.
Yeah, they will be, as Algren actually entering some sort of 1 versus 2 here. As the CS lead is in the hands of the Jinx, and when you talk about where BLM are playing for, they're not playing for bot lane, they are playing for top. So Reaper having that lead onto Algren is really good for them. You can see they are consistently getting priority, but one person that does seem to be in threat, Denzo in the mid lane. Panover a few times now where he's been chunked out. It's half HP in the mid lane. Might be an angle for Yasa to go for a gank there.
Yeah, and I have to say, this 1v2 play by Algren, that is exactly what I love when the weak side AD carries do. You cannot...
Shockwave going down onto Rebreathe. He will flash to safety. The Chaos Storm dropped onto Denza, but I do think maybe we'll secure that kill. Rebreathe, just as I said, Victor, very immobile mage. All about ganking that, both immobile mages actually, but maybe was the first one to do it. Elrat getting handshaken by Jesse. Root landing onto the, oh, actually, Algren, that's the bailout. He's going to get taken down. Kill credit is going to go over to Reaper. And Algren, once again, overstepping. He's done that every single game this series. And to overstep against BLM, I have to admit, it's really difficult to do that because they're very passive laners. So to overstep against BLM, you have to be doing something very, very wrong.
Yeah, and he did take, like, I think it was 3 turret shots. I think the idea there was to maybe chunk out Elrat and reset the turret aggro with your ultimate and maybe go for some 1v2 outplay, but not playing out the way Algren was planning there, and just a bit of another misplay, and we saw him turn it around during the previous game and start to play so much better. This time, again, the early game does not look so well for the Gucci carry.
Yeah, not looking good, but look at Los Moderato. He feels confident to jump forward here. Gonna land a knock-up as well. Linus gonna have to pop the ultimate. Los Moderato did miss out on that tongue lash. He's gonna consume Linus here. I'm curious to see how this 1v1 will go. It does look like it's a noodle fight just for now, but Linus's health regen is paying dividends for him. Los Moderato, another tongue lash, another knock-up. I have no idea who's gonna go, but a dodge, a sidestep away. Now Algren's gonna get a kill onto Elrat in the bot lane. Los Moderato gets a solo kill onto Linus. Maybe he's gonna try and land a double nan knockup. Algren, last feather is not gonna land onto Reaper. Denza has teleported into the fight, but look at Jesse. He's now arrived. Keep your eyes on the hostile takeover because that is still available for him. Rebreathe now. Hostile takeover. Custard. It's gonna land onto maybe. He's gonna root up Denza. And actually, look at Reaper. He's gonna get taken out. The interaction is crazy as Denza gets stunned up by his own jungler. Now maybe stunned up behind the turret. Algren flanking on a Zaya, flanking alone, and once again the AD carry of Gucci doesn't really understand that you're not a melee champion. He's gonna get caught out when he just doesn't really need to. And teleport being casted by Linus into the bot lane, and Jesse is gonna have to use the flash here if he wants to get to safety. Flashes over the wall. Linus does not have to want to follow. Mikus, I don't want to be that guy, but did BLM pay Algren?
Yeah, we're just kidding
about that, of course.
Yeah,
but
it's a joke. It's a
Algren Algren really trying to do more than than he needs to do here. I think he really wants to perform. He knows that he has made a couple of mistakes, and that's exactly how tilt sometimes happen. You're kind of you're making one mistake, and then you're trying to compensate for it, and you just start to do more and more. And when you're making a mistake, you shouldn't try to compensate. You should the thought process should be, but that's gonna be a big flag.
Yeah, Yasa went for the ghost, so no flash here. Maybe he's gonna pull off a successful gank. They did get the reptile charge, so some plates in their hands. Linus was brought down to low HP as well, so Gucci, they drop a kill, but at least they get some plates in the hands of Rebreathe and Yasa. But yeah, continue your point because I agree.
Yeah. You must not try to compensate. You just need to think about what would have been the right play to do and do that play next time. You don't need to get back the goal that you just lost. You need to do the right play next time. And Algren seems to be struggling with it. But good news for Gucci. Whoever has lost the early game so far has won the game in this series. And right now they are down about 700 gold. Yeah, as bizarre as it sounds, that's good for Chi so far. You might be muted.
I was muted, but yeah, enough. As you pointed out earlier, the team in the early game lead seems to have lost the game in general. But I think it's a little bit different with this composition here, because there's a jinx. This is not the similar story of last game where Veigar was building items that literally had maximum 50 AP in it. This jinx, Kraken Slayer completed. You can imagine Infinity Edge to follow. There is damage here. Denza, he's not buying Everfrost. He's buying Liandry, so that's going to be big damage as well. So it's a very different story this time around because getting a lead with this scaling team composition will be big. I think one thing, as I keep mentioning this, Yasa is always ahead on the clear to maybe no kills in his pocket so far, but see, building towards those items from heal reduction already completed. This brand will be very scary later on.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Gucci needs. They will be facing a lot of healing. They will be facing a lot of tankiness from the Black Manta squad. And they do need this brand's damage to kind of burn through the tankiness of Linus and the tankiness of maybe who is having himself quite a decent game as well. Yes, you're saying that he's losing the farm battle, but he's winning the kill participation battle in a classic way, in a classic maybe style. He's a very, very strong early game jungler.
Yeah, definitely, indeed. As well, just kind of noticed Linus's build path. We said that there was a potential Heartsteel battle incoming, but looks like Linus is opting away from that. He's got Balmy Cinder, which builds into Sunfire Cape. He's got Spectre's Cowl, which builds into Spirit Visage, and maybe some other items. Can't quite know.
I think that might be a mistake. I think he just might have auto-pathed towards the Barmies there and forgot the path for the build path for Heartsteel, because I see no reason for him to ever choose not to choose Heartsteel here.
Yep, I have to agree, and especially against the Tom Kench, you're going to get so many free stacks off. And yep, it is the Spirit Visage completed now. Very, very interesting considering you are laning against a Tom Kench. Well, Tom Kench obviously does AP damage, so in that sense, Magic Resist does have value, and you have healing in your kit, so good in that sense. But yeah, well, Rift Herald started up Good Chi on the other side of the map, so keep your eyes out because Denza definitely does need to be careful. Okay, Rebreathe gonna get ghosted on here by Reaper, but you know, just gonna get walked into the stun, and Denza now in danger. 3 members strong, gonna jump onto him. Great shockwave onto 2, but the damage coming out from Yasa is big. Fortunately for Denza, Soraka ultimate will get him to safety. Look at Rebreathe in a 1 versus 2, but Linus is gonna flash forward onto Yasa. Hostile takeover. I'm not sure if that was directed in the right way. As Linus teleports down into the bot lane. Super Mega Death Rocket is gonna bring Algren to half HP. It's time now to Kite and Zaya and Victor are 2 champions that can do this too. Effective manner. Linus being brought down to low HP. And despite BLM winning out on the kill trade, they do take down Yasa. Look at the objective timer. Probably not the most effective situation. Linus already using the teleport. Denza just blew the flash and the ultimate. And this objective, I don't think spawns in time for any punishments left to follow.
Yeah, and with it being a Hextech Rift, the movement around the map is going to be very, very quick. And yeah, killing Gucci's squad here, they will be in time to secure this, and they're getting themselves even the second Drake. And Gucci must be so happy to actually lose just 1 person with the amount of resources the Black Manta used. Dancer does have teleport, so we just might have a very dynamic teamfight, but Black Manta is very late here.
Yeah, they're a little bit too late because they made the play and they only got 1 kill. And, you know, you pointed out really well there. Summoner spells were used. Lost Moretto is just going to jump into the entire roster of Black Manta. Realizing his error, will flash away to safety. So Tom Kench doesn't have the flash. Fortunately for him, he did have that spell. That could have been disastrous for him. If he was to fall down, you could always imagine BLM would look to capitalize on that. But instead, it would just be the flash to safety. Rebreathe will be able to head back into the mid lane to try to wave clear, or maybe kind of waste on the combo. That could have been a dead Victor. Instead, they will get mid lane tower. Actually, no, Yasa will defend that proactively. So good job from the Good Chi lads to defend that. And for the first time this tournament, look at the CS difference in the mid lane. Rebreathe, 20 CS down. We haven't seen this happen very much this series.
Yeah, Rebreathe has been dominating so far this whole tournament, actually. Whoever he has been facing, he has done very well. This time, being a little bit down, at least. Kind of first game during this tournament on this Victor pick. Black Manta really trying to put him in discomfort by taking out his great Syndra and Zerat. And so far, it's been kind of working for them. Rebreathe having a silent game so far. Yeah, 0-1-0. But as we know, his best time is that post 20 minutes moment when he kind of just unlocks another level to his gameplay. And yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do this game as well.
Yeah, also important to note that with Denza opting for the Seraph's Embrace build, there's a little bit of a delay to the power spike. It's a defensive item, even though it does have a needlessly large rod. Not the highest AP/magic pen item. Actually, there is no magic pen. It is straight up a defensive item. It scales really well, but does definitely delay the spike a little bit. So, you know, despite the lead that Denza does have on paper, I don't think... take a look at the items. Rebreathe is essentially... probably on par, if not, ahead in terms of AP. We'll take a look. 127 to. Okay, I guess I was wrong. Denza
he just
bought me. Okay, yeah. See. Oh gosh. For a minute, I was like, oh my god, am I like stupid or something? But no. He just.
For a moment, you were like, am I even Asian?
Yeah, no. For a moment, I was questioning my own culture and beliefs as a human being. But needlessly large rod completed means that Denza will be slightly ahead. Lost Moderator going aggressive onto the Orianna here, but he is on weak side because the rest of his team is behind him. So.
And I have to say that this is kind of a little bit of a small, and not a huge blunder, but a small blunder by Gucci that they have placed Lost Mordoretto against the Denzer, because in this matchup he can't really do anything. He's very strong on the Storm Kench, but Orianna can avoid any kind of engages, and there's no hardstyle stacking against Orianna, so Gucci would like to look to kind of change around these sidelines.
Yeah, but that's the thing. This is the kind of decision that a coordinated team might be able to make. But what we've seen from this Gucci team, whilst they are talented individuals, they have lacked they have a gaping hole in certain aspects of team play. Switching over side lanes to create efficiency in those hardstyle stacks could be one of their flaws. And I guess one side of the coin is it does allow Rebreathe a little bit of ease and scaling, because the CS lead is slowly decreasing for Denza. As I say that, it increased back to 20. But yeah, we enter a bit of a dead space here, and I have to like, who do you think this benefits? Because whilst Denza and Reaper are able to scale up here, Algren has, he was behind in lane in terms of CS numbers. He's caught up and he's ahead of the curve of Reaper now, and he's got 2 kills on the board. So I can imagine gold-wise ahead of the Jinx, Yasa ahead of the Rel. So who do you think this benefits, this dead period? Oh my god.
I have to say that it's really kind of what you value most, more the players or the champions, because for players like Rebreathe and Yasa here, it's great, because the stronger they get, the more items they get, the more effective they can be in these team fights. Meanwhile, on the other side, there's a hyper carry called Jinx, an absolute menace in this level of tournaments, and it can, no matter who is piloting the champion, I feel like it can be a huge pick, and we are entering a Dragon Dance.
We are indeed, and I didn't realize we were playing with 2 poke compositions, as Denza and Yasa both half HP. Algren now kiting away from Linus and Maybe, but look at the damage coming up from Bran. So much. 2-man shockwave is going to be massive, but Lost Moderator is going to consume his jungler back to safety. Hostile takeover is big. It's going to buy some time, but keep your eyes on Reaper. He is free hitting for now. Algren uses the Feather Caller. It's not going to root up anyone for now. Lost Moderator just about on the tongue lash, and it's such a close fight. No one's going to drop, but important things just happen. Elrat, no summoner spells. Rebreathe, no flash. Lost Moderator, no ultimate. No ultimates for anyone, actually. Take a look at every ultimate used. It's Elrat now so low. Rebreathe with the laser. Let's look at Lost Moderator here. He's going to jump forward. The silence is great, but he's going to finish off Elrat with the Heartsteel stack. The first victim has fallen in this team fight. That's a chunky Tom Kench, as now Gucci will pay attention to this dragon. They have free access. Soraka is dead. Elrat is not alive. The dragon is opening up. This is Dragon Soul, and it's a big take. Big, massive objective for Gucci to secure. The Feathers is going to secure that one for Algren. I don't even think BLM can push down this mid lane turret with Lost Moderator there.
No, not at all, and that's a huge team fight. Such a beautiful dance by both of these squads, not overextending any one of them, and just playing on the edge the whole team fight. Beautifully done by both squads, but it is Gucci that gets the final pick and the final ward, and the reward is going to be the 3rd dragon of the game, and such a huge win for them, putting them in the soul point, and that puts Black Manta really their backs against the wall, and the tension increases by the seconds, as they're kind of Gucci narrowing onto the lead, onto the victory.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the gold lead, of course, is there for Gucci, but let's remind ourselves how close that fight was. They were fighting for about over a minute, and the only person to die was Elrat. Soraka, and take that into consideration. But Lost Moderato might have something else to say. Elrod, he actually walks into the knockup, and he's going to get blown up by Algren. He gets the kill credit onto the Soraka. 2 little missteps from the Soraka, and it's very unlike the experienced support of Black Manta. It's going to mean that Gucci get a small advantage in that front. Lost Moderato finding the engage, landing another tongue lash. And Mikus, this game is starting to tip towards one side, but very, very, very lightly.
Yeah, and often when you're kind of weighting things, heavy champion is something necessarily to tip your weights to your side. And there's nothing better than Lost Moderato's massive Tom Kench that has been a shining star for this top laner. I might remind you, I think Lost Moderato was something like 0-10 at one point over 3 games, and then his Tom Kench has started to started to pay dividends here, and after unlocking the potential for this champion, Lost Moderato has been the silent star player so far for Gucci during this game and during previous game. Of course, we have given him so much praise to Yasuo, given him so much praise to Rebreed, but the biggest difference in the gameplay has been coming from Lost Moderato here.
Yeah, I'm going to be a little bit critical to Linus. He's a very experienced player and a very respected top laner. Rarely puts a foot wrong, but this game, you know, Mundo, one of his signature champions, he's up against a tank. How many times have we seen Dr. Mundos go up in a tank versus tank matchup, get like 1,500 Heartsteel stacks, enter a team fight, click on the AD carry once, and he's just dead? Didn't opt for the Heartsteel. So on one side, Lost Moderato does have that. Not many stacks, but at least he's got them. And you can see how much it's doing, whereas Linus has nothing. He doesn't even have a mythic item completed. A little bit of a blunder there. Maybe he knows something that we don't. This might materialize into something more useful later on, but yeah, I feel like Heartsteel definitely had to be built here.
Yeah, I agree. I'm still holding on to my theory that it has been a mistake on Linus's part, and meanwhile, I think that hasn't been a mistake on his part is the fact that he has managed to keep avoiding Lost Moderato here, and the Heartsteel difference that could have been here is not there as much. And meanwhile, Lost Moderato looking for assassination onto Denser. Like he wants his Heartsteel stacks.
Yeah, he is looking for Denser indeed, and look how much damage these tongue lashes are doing. We'll get the phase rush proc, and Lost Moderato might need to be careful. He does get a clink there. But a beautiful E from Lost Moderato. He might get Denzer in a full-on solo kill, as Gucci will secure themselves the Baron buff. Lost Moderato now brought down to low HP, but with the Grail Shield, he actually will jump away to safety. And the top laner of Gucci, the Estonian Frog, is going to buy his team sometimes to just one-shot the Baron buff from the map. As Denzer was busy having to fight for his life to survive. They get themselves the Baron, and that's huge, Mikus.
And the Hextech Drake gets utilized fully here as they are instantly back on the map now with the Baron buff. Lost Moderato, he didn't only take our attention away, as we didn't even notice that Gucci are taking Baron. They took the whole attention from Black Manta. What a performance by the Estonian Frog indeed. And right now, Gucci in prime condition for another Dragon Dance, and with Lost Moderato behind them, and with Gucci having such a massive priority in midline with the Baron buff, it's such a difficult fight to approach for Black Manta as they are in a chokehold.
Yeah, and the only thing they could do was contest the Raptors amongst themselves as, mid lane was pushed, which means, look, Gucci are the first ones at the objective. Point of blue side, the strength of it is your access into these objectives are easier, but if the enemy team has Baron and you lose priority, it's not easy. But Algren, he did step up. He's been stunned up by Maybe, but that's what the value of the Xayah. He does get shut down once again. Algren is the maker of Gucci's demise as he's going to get caught out. But look at the damage coming out from Rebreed. The Victor Cloud is doing what it can. Yasuo is in the bailout, but he's going to get taken down. Lost Moderato does get a kill onto Reaper, so the Jinx is dead. Let's see what Jesse and Rebreed can do. Lost Moderato has paid his attention to the mid lane turret. Jesse with the handshake, pulling Denzer into Elrod, but it looks like Rebreed is going to be the one to fall. Once again, Algren is going to be the cause of Gucci's failures, as BLM are going to win out this fight. They catch the AD carry of Gucci sleeping for the 3rd time in a row. I mean, how many times this series have we seen as they will deny the soul for Gucci?
Yeah, it looked so difficult for Black Manta to approach this fight, and one champion that has proven to absolutely turn series around this series has been the Rel, and the Rel finds another engage, this time in the hands of maybe finding Algren yet again. They're followed up by Dancer's burst damage, and yeah, Algren is dead just like that, shut down, no damage from Lady Carry coming in from Gucci. They do their best in a fight in a 4v5 there, but with the healing coming in from Elrat, I think, yeah, it's just not enough damage. I think Rebreed and Yasa did so much damage, but just not enough. Both of these AP carries having 0 kills right now, and yeah.
Oh god, he's doing it again. He's just walking up to the enemy team by himself. You know, I know he's not, but at some points you're just like, what is going on? Like, what is he? Anyway, yeah, a big blunder from the AD carry of Gucci. As take a look at the gold, they were ahead. They secured that Hextech Dragon. Game's pretty much just as good as done. And fortunately for BLM, Algren just seems to be off the ball, off the mark this series. He's been stepping up melee range multiple times in these fights, and not towards the latter part of the fights. At the very start, he just walks up to the enemy. Both summoners available as well, falling there might prove to be crucial, as now BLM, they are still in the gold deficit, but that's off the back of farm leads in the hands of Los Modereto and Yasa and whatnot. But yeah, Linus might be getting caught into his own jungle. Keep your eyes on the stun here. Yasa, just as I said, Rylai's not a friendly tool for Linus, as he's getting slowed up, eaten up now by Los Modereto. Keep your eyes on the Shockwave available, and look at the damage coming out from Brand. Alright, we'll be able to heal up his top laner, but a big chunk, and maybe, if anything, that was a warning sign for what is to come if you overstep up against Yasa here. Doesn't even have a kill in his pocket. He's really doing so much damage, and I feel like if you're BLM here, or at least if I'm playing if I'm Maybe or if I'm BLM here, you just keep your camera on this Xayah. He's been stepping up in No Man's Land repeatedly over the course of the series, and all you need is one more catch at the crucial time, and it might be a key objective for you.
Yeah, and this game, Algren is playing a huge role for his team. This whole team basically deals only magic damage. It's only him with the AD. He has built the Lord Dominic's regards as well to deal with the tanks. He needs to survive. His team desperately needs him to deal damage in these team fights. All of the AP from this team is great, of course, but it's just not enough. They need him to kill Linus, and maybe because without it, there's just too much magic resist on their side.
So much magic resist here, and I need to point out one thing. You know, we saw this was the first time this entire tournament where Rebreed's champion pool was really pinched down to AT. He's had to pick up a champion he hasn't selected for the entire tournament. Doesn't look like the same player. I know Rebreed is a player that is based off comfort. He is a player that solely relies on being in that comfort zone. I'm not saying Victor is out of the comfort zone. You can see the difference it's making. That the champion pool of his is pinched down a little bit more. Despite him not having as much of a 1v9 performance, he's still in the game. Rabadon's death cap just completed.
Yeah.
You know, how different do you think this game is going to look if Algren can just retwink and reshape up his positioning, and if Rebreed can get stuck into this game?
Yeah, I was about to mention Rabadon's death cap being completed, and as we know, it's such a damage boost for his team, and he definitely will need it to carry these fights, because so far I think he has landed a lot of abilities, but just Victor not dealing as much damage as he were used to from Rebreed here.
Yeah, not as much. And Mikas, I want to ask you a question, because you know we broadcasted the matchup between these two teams yesterday, and it didn't even look close. It looked like a one-sided stomp. What do you think has changed overnight? What do you think has changed in this game to turn the tide of the result here? As I might have to stop my point, because Yasa is getting caught out in the enemy jungle. He'll be kept alive just for now, but look who it is getting caught out once again. He does stasis the shockwave, so that's a massive result. Algren stepping forward aggressively. The hostile takeover is big, and look at the damage it's doing. Reaper is auto-attacking his own team right now, and look at the damage. Reaper's taken down. Algren's going to get the kill credit for that. Maybe suck into the entire enemy team, and Yasa is doing the damage, gets the kill credit onto Elrod. This could be the team fight that Gucci needed. Linus is going to be the next one on the menu, and he's getting brought down to his knees. Kill credit over to Los Modoretto, and that's going to be the Hextech Dragon. Jessia with the hostile takeover. That was game changing, that was series defining, and that's why he's the support of Gucci.
That's a huge hostile takeover by Jesse. I was about to say, I'm not sure if the Ghost is the right summoner spell by Reaper here, because once he gets hit by Jesse's ultimate, he absolutely wipes his own team, and he's not able to escape. No Mikkel's on the side of Black Manta as well, so no escape for the main carry for Black Manta, and once he got eaten by Los Morderetto, there was no coming back. Algren, key thing, Algren survived the early engage. It looked so bad, but he used the stopwatch this time in time, and he did the damage that was necessary to do. So much different team fight when Algren survives, and Gucci right now in a prime position, getting themselves the soul, getting themselves the Baron. Can Black Manta stop them?
Sorry, I saw Tim Chef's message. That's the funniest thing I've seen. Yep, Algren, the back to front genius. No, but like, look at that adaptation from Algren. He does buy the stopwatch, and it was crucial there. He stasis away from the shockwave, and that sets up Jesse for the biggest hostile takeover I've seen this series. Well, I think he's only played Renata once, so yeah, makes sense. But yes, that is massive. Gucci just secured Baron. They just secured Hextech Soul. They just won the team fight. BLM, they are, once again, they win out in the early game, and the team who's in a deficit in the early seems to benefit off that.
Yeah, yes, indeed. As we mentioned before, Gucci having a 500 gold deficit at early game, so it must be good news for them. And I mean, there were different stages in this game, but so far it looks to be proving the truth. And we see Los Morderetto, such a huge performance by the Estonian Frog here, and Gucci is kind of pulling them apart. The Reaper just gets almost one shot by the mages. Gucci,
Los Morderetto.
Dancer's in trouble.
Yeah, he's going for the knock-up. Shockwave is used defensively, so he won't have that utility spell. Well, not utility, that massive teamfight spell available if Gucci decide to push any further. Inhibitor in bot lane already secured. Inhibitor in mid lane now taken down. Yasa going to try to slow up the Dr. Mundo. Just like I said, this champion absolutely hates Rylai's. Brand absolutely loves it, as maybe is going to go for an engage here. He does find Yasa, but keep your eyes on the hostile takeover, as once again it is absolutely massive. Jinx is going to get knocked here, and he's actually full HP, but Elrat is taken down. The Soraka is not available. Algren is going to jump forward. Double kill for the Zaya. He's going to get a triple kill. This could be a penta for the Zaya. Quadra kill locked in. One more to complete the penta kill, but instead Jesse is going to secure that one, and Gucci, they delete Black Manta from their own tournament, and once again Gucci will reach a final of a tournament.
Whoa, what a game we had here. It went right down to wire, and whoever, just another beautiful page. Finally, maybe the final page, the ending page in Gucci's rivalry against the Black Manta. It was such a close game, few key moments going one way or another. Few maybe keystone and maybe some summoner spell differences could have made a difference, and we see here Gucci able to close this one out. Black Manta not able to close this one out themselves, as they were in a position to do so, I believe. And I'm just happy about a great tournament here.
Great tournament indeed, and let's give our praises to Algren. Came under a lot of criticism in Twitch chat and on the cast for the series in general, but one team fight in the end absolutely popped off. Quadra kill on the Zaya, really turning the tide for the team. Let's give our praises to Black Manta for I hope Algren does not check Twitch chat. This is a classic Twitch chat moment. But now let's talk about what this means for the Manta Cup, because it does mean BLM, as much as they progress further, they will have to submit their trophy once more to a rival team. But on the opposite side, make us on the home base here. Good Chi. This is an improvement from the previous run at this trophy, and they've earned themselves a spot in the grand finals.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautifully played by Gucci here, and yeah, players that did not step up through maybe the previous games kind of really did in this game. I think Jesse had an amazing game. I think like he was the MVP of this game 3, and similarly to Los Mordereto, also co-MVP for me. And during the whole game, Algren definitely struggled, but in those last 2 critical team fights, he was the one to deal so much damage. He finally survived the initial engage, and ending it up with a quadra kill, beautifully played by our AD carry. And yeah, even when Rebreed did not have the most pop-off play, team rallied around, team rallied together, and that's gonna be finals for Good Chi Gaming.
Yep. Good grand final secured for Good Chi Gaming, and I've just confirmed that Wiggies will be joining us for a post-game interview. So don't go anywhere. We will be having a chat with the head coach of Good Chi. Well, he's been quite important, hasn't he? 100% win rate on the guy. So don't go anywhere. We will return with a interview with Good Chi, and also if anyone in Twitch chat has questions for him, we will ask him. So yeah, be right back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're returning back to the broadcast as we are approaching the closing moments. As we invite the head coach of our Good Chi Manta Cup squad, Italy champion Wiggies with Good Chi Yin. How does it feel to reach another finals but in a different role?
It feels great. It feels great, I have to say. It's shout out to my team, man. They're doing a great job. Yesterday they held out, did a good 4-1 run, and today keeping it strong and doing their best. And it shows that they're mental is strong. Usually at this point people get tired and they don't really want to play anymore, but they're going strong.
Yeah, going strong indeed. And I want to ask you a question. You're a talented player beyond belief yourself. You've been given the title Golden Boy of Good Chi. Moving on to bigger and better things in your future, but one last dance as the head coach of this Manta Cup roster. How has it been? Because is this your first time coaching a team?
Yes, this is my first time, and I have to kind of give credit to the team because I have not been there for them at all. Throughout scrims and stuff, I have not been helping them. I've had other stuff going on, so everything that you're seeing that they've done phenomenally so far is all credit to them. I've been helping a little bit, just kind of what kind of champs to prioritize and what kind of picks to kind of put together. And I think kind of combining those two have worked very well so far. And but it's coaching is actually a lot of fun. It's you obviously come in with your own personal biases. I think we should be picking Thresh every game, but that's just me. But so you have those kind of things that you have to kind of take into consideration and other things, which is a little bit difficult, but it's still very fun and engaging.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's great, and it's been great watching. Really humble answer as well to just throw the praise over to your team. But I guess one more question for me before I hand over to some of Mik's questions is the BLM preparation must have been, I guess to some it's easy, to some it's difficult, but overnight it seems that they changed their strategy a little bit. Obviously you have a big say in what you guys draft. What was the plan on your side? Because 24 hours essentially is the amount of time we had to, or you guys had to prep for this rematch here.
So for the first game, I actually wasn't here to prepare anything for. I was actually out shopping.
Hence the defeat.
Hence the defeat, exactly. So as soon as I come, we beat them twice.
Okay.
But that aside, there wasn't necessarily more preparation than I'm a strong believer in the fact that it's more important to get to let everyone play kind of what they're comfortable on and what they know the limits of that champion that they're playing, and then with those champions try to thematically counter what the enemy wants to do. I think you saw that very clearly in the third game, where I noticed a lot of people weren't very happy with our draft, but everyone on our team played one of, if not the best champ in their champ pool, but at the same time kind of making sure with both a draft and a game plan in mind to kind of counter what they wanted to do. And I think it showed in the last game somewhat, at least, for sure. And I feel like that's at least my kind of what I do.
Yeah, awesome. That's great to hear your input and how much you contribute to this team is clearly important. 100% win rate. Mikus, have you got any questions for our little superstar here?
Yeah, you have faced a historical matchup against Black Manta, and congratulations on winning that. And now you're moving in the finals against a team you have already faced before in the group stage. Beast Team Esports in a very, very close series defeated Snakeback. And what's the plan? What's your feelings going into that matchup?
That's a good question, and I might be able to answer that in a few hours. Right now, it's kind of just celebrating the victory against BLM for now. But the plans, I think, will be very much the same, where we make sure that we get our comfort picks. You can see Rebreathe, when he gets to play what he wants, we don't really care about the counter pick mid. He gets to play his Zareth, he gets to play his Syndra, his Victor. He just shits on everyone. Like, it's great. And this, you can notice that as long as everyone's on comfort, it doesn't really matter what we're playing against. So I think we're not the build up to it isn't that well thought out, if I should be completely honest.
Yeah, and I would say in the finals, a matchup between two of the best, the most shining stars of the tournament so far, Vademori and Rebreathe, the superstars of both sides. But it wasn't the superstars that kind of carried crucial moments in these games. I think it was more of Los Morderetto and Jesiah kind of making huge plays. Talk to me how important it is. How important is the mental going in these mental state going in these critical playoff matchups?
I think it's very important that everyone's kind of cool, calm, and collected, and ready to kind of play. I know, having talked to Savonix about having played in Manta Cup himself, that people at this stage of the game, or at this stage of the tournament, get very mentally drained, and people basically just don't want to play anymore because they've been playing so much. And at least from what I've noticed talking to the guys, it's they win, awesome. We celebrate a little bit, but then it's straight back into the grind, into the next game, and like losing a game, like it doesn't even phase them. It's amazing to see. So I think in a best of 5 that the final's going to be in is very much favorable on our end, where we lose, whatever, brush it off, go into the next one. So I think it'll be easy for sure.
Awesome, man.
All right.
Yeah. So
Go
great.
ahead.
Yeah, so great to hear you in the head coach position as well. I feel like a proud father watching one of our players go from an Echelon champion to now a Manta Cup finalist, but in more of a captaincy / leadership position. And despite you mentioning not too much presence in the practice, you've definitely had a big presence on the actual tournament itself. Wiggies, I've been closing out every chat I've had with a player, cheat or non-cheat, with a funky question. And are you ready for yours, funky question?
Sure. Lay it on me.
So, your challenge is, how can you make 6 into an odd number?
Add 1.
No.
No?
No.
It's an odd
6.
number.
6. You have to use the letter 6. I mean, the word 6.
Has to use the word 6.
Yeah. How can you turn the word 6 into an odd number? Oh, someone's typed it in the chat, but don't look at chat.
I don't know. Wait, like, do you want to make? We're making a number. Oh, is it 63 an odd number?
Blitzcrank. Someone typed. He's typed a Blitzcrank. No.
Blitzcrank.
How do you make 6 an odd number? Blitzcrank. No, obviously not.
No, this is too advanced for me.
Okay, so basically, you failed the question. Lost Moderator got it right in the chat. You remove the letter S, and it's IX, which is in Roman numerals the number 9, which is an odd number.
Oh.
Ah, see?
What?
Yeah, it's fun, right?
But you have to use the S, no?
No, you just have to use the word 6. You can do what you want with it, but you have to use the word 6.
But so if I remove the entire word,
Yeah. 0.
and then I say 3.
What? Wait, you can't. You just
But if you can remove S, that means I can remove I and X too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I just add 3.
S3. Alright.
No, okay, never mind.
Thanks for joining us on this interview. Congratulations on your win. Not so much on the riddle. But, I didn't realize it would. I didn't realize it would malfunction, Wiggies. Anyway.
That was great. Yeah, thank you for the interview.
Yeah. Sorry to the Manta Cup team if your next draft is Garbonzo. I just broke your coach. Right. Thanks for joining us, and we will close out the stream now, Mikis. Before we end it, I'm going to ask you, who is your MVP of this, not just game, but the series?
I feel like a player that had a solid and strong performance throughout the whole series was Jesiah, and I think he has shown a decent and like kind of excellent gameplay throughout the whole tournament so far, and just the fact he has not maybe made pop-off plays like his coach, for example, Wiggies. He has just done the right thing at every single time. It has been a reason why he hasn't even gotten so much praise, but. That being said, he was huge. He was huge in the game 3. I think he carried that game, and I think he was huge throughout the whole series. And well done by the star support for G.
Yep, well done indeed. And I have to agree with you. I'm going to give it over to Jesse because such an underrated player. He always goes under the radar in basically every roster he's in. But take a look at his track record. SLE Finals achieved, now Manta Cup Finals in his repertoire. Still yet to go for a trophy, so this might be finally the one for him, and he made such massive plays in that last game. Without that hostile takeover, I think one of the hostile takeovers, he forced the Rel to stun the Oriana or something. It was a massive place. CWL Finals, yeah, Jesse, master of the finals, but not the master of winning them. But let's see if he can turn his fate around. Seems to be a lot of players rewriting their own history and conquering their past demons, so it's now on to Jesse for his story to conclude. But yes, we will conclude Gucci's broadcast of the Manta Cup, as I believe we are finished here. I might be wrong because if I remember correctly, Linus did say that he was going to message me if we are to stream another game. There's a third place game for any Black Manta fans in the chat right now. Their story is not completely over. Yes, they are not going to claim the trophy, but they could fight for that top 3 spot. Bronze medal is always respectable. So there is that. Manta Cup Discord contains all the information of the games, and of course Gucci Discord will drop an announcement if we go live, so keep your eyes out for that. But Mikis, any closing thoughts before we finish up the stream?
Yeah, join in watching the third place match. I think it's at 15 past 3 in Central Europe time. I think it's going to be casted by the Sanctuary stream, if I not if I'm not mistaken. And finals, I believe, officially it's only right now casted by Black Manta, by Manta Cup official stream. I'm not sure if Gucci is picking it up, but if it's not, definitely go over to the Manta Cup stream and spectate it as well. Cheer for our boys in the chat, as we definitely need every single drop of support we can get. And I hope I can get talk to you in tomorrow's stream as a part of the org that has won Manta Cup.
Yeah, we will wait and see, and a very exciting moment for us. We've never reached the finals of Manta Cup. We'll be supporting in our own voice channels if we cannot complete a stream ourselves. But thank you, Mikis, for not only casting this exciting series, but casting the entire tournament of the last 2 days. It's been so fun. I can't remember the last time I had this much fun casting games, and I'm really happy to see the results coming out from the boys. Well done to Gucci. Commiserations to Black Manta, of course. Allies of Gucci, despite the rivalry. It's sort of frenemies, as you could say. But yeah, thank you to everyone. Head over to the other streams to catch all the action. And from the Gucci side, it is a goodbye for now.